Hello everyone, welcome on in to Steller Field BGSU Baseball, beginning a 3-game series against the Central Michigan Chippewas. Tyler Kavalitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network here on the WBGU live stream. Ben, this is a Bowling Green team that has really found their stride as of late, riding a 5-game winning streak, welcoming in a Central Michigan team who's trying to do the same, and both these teams fighting for MAC tournament positioning as we hit the second half of the Mid-American Conference schedule.
Yeah, the Falcons coming off a very feel-good week, I would say. You got a series win over Akron, a very feel-good MAC series there, and then you came into non-conference midweek play and a big win over Ohio State and just the feeling of it, but then a big run win over Lords. You had 13-4 in that game here, and that was just a very good 5-game stretch. I'd say very needed for this team that's been battling through some stuff, still trying to find some identity and still trying to put themselves together.
We do have the BGSU defense up. We'll take a look at that. It'll be Carson Silva on the mound, Andrew DeLodovico, the catcher behind the plate, Mida over at first, Vinny Salvioni at second, Griffin Schneider at short, Braden Curlis at third, TJ Tackett in left field, Carter Motice at center, Alex Laird in right. First pitch of the game is flown up to the right side. Settling onto that will be Anthony Mida, the first baseman, to make the catch for the first out of the game.
Quick work for Silva. He's had just a couple of starts this season, only 4 starts for the sophomore, and not great success. He had 1 start against Akron, and that was 4 2/3 and 6 earned runs. So certainly one that he wants to shake off here. A good opportunity for him to get his first real good start of MAC play.
That was Bryson Webb popping out to the right side as Cole Prout steps up to the plate, swings and misses through that pitch. Cole Prout, the left fielder for Central Michigan today, looks at the next pitch down low. Prout, his 4th season at Central Michigan, in an era where a lot of these rosters are built on transfer portal additions. He's been with the Chippewas his entire career, a Michigan native. Count goes to 1-2. Prout coming in batting at .258. He ranks 3rd in the MAC in RBIs with 32 on the year, 7th in the conference in home runs with 7. Silva's next pitch misses outside. Carson Silva, a guy that started the year as the predominant starter for Bowling Green, ended up getting moved out of the rotation after some rough outings, and possibly a chance here to work his way back into the rotation. It's lined over into right field by Cole Prout. A 1-out single for Central Michigan and their first base runner on.
Yeah, that's a big theme for Silva as well, is giving up hits, 37 hits in his 25 innings pitched. And you look at the most recent start that he had, that was against Akron. He gave up 9 hits in that game and only his 4 2/3 innings of work. So that's certainly going to be something to keep the Chippewas off of the base path today. I mean, it seems obvious you try and stifle runs with keeping guys off base path, and it's certainly easier said than done.
Harrison Bowman steps up to the dish, a .319 hitter this year. 9 doubles, 8 homers, 30 runs batted in. Looks at a first pitch ball. Silva on the year, 1-2, an .864 earned run average. This is his 10th game, his 5th start. He's thrown 25 innings, getting 30 strikeouts and walking 17 across those frames. Last time Silva was on the bump, it was Friday. He went 4 2/3, gave up 6 runs on 9 hits, struck out 5, walked 1, and hit 2 batters. Threw over 80 pitches. Evens the count up at 1-1. The big thing for Silva is his location. If he can have his location on, his potential is really limitless. It's just being able to locate both the fastball and his breaking stuff is the challenge.
Well, that's the issue with when you get pitchers that are struggling to hit the zone. You know, if you're the Chippewas, you're sitting on something in the zone and you're ready to attack. You're ready to go as soon as it comes. And that's the struggle for the pitchers too. How do you get to keep throwing strikes when you don't want to leave meatballs right down the middle? Get your confidence back that way. You got to do it with something around the edges.
Silva's next delivery outside again, 3-1. You look at his numbers. Those 17 walks in 25 innings, but also 8 hit by pitches, 4 wild pitches. And all of last year, which was 53 2/3 innings, he had 8 hit by pitches and 10 wild pitches. And he's already at or nearly at those numbers in half the innings. 5-pitch walk issued to Harrison Bowman. They'll bring up the cleanup man for Central Michigan, Logan Kylan, with the runners on first and second.
And that's the issue, too, if you're Sova. I mean, you just look at that last start that we've referenced a bunch of times now. Didn't really have walk trouble. I mean, the 2 hit by pitches, but he only lost 1 guy on 4 balls, and he had 5 strikeouts to boot. It was the hits. And now early in this game, we've already seen a hit and a walk this inning. It's been both. It's kind of been the bane of him. You'd really like to get a ground ball here, maybe get 2 with just 1 swing of the bat.
That'd be the ideal one in this situation. Kylan, a 268 hitter, 19 runs batted in. Silva finds the zone with that off speed to begin the at-bat. Big thing for Carson Silva has also been these first innings. Whether he can get out of them clean or gets beat up a little bit, that really sets the tone for a lot of his appearances this season.
He's got a job to do here, but that's just confidence building.
This one's lined on the ground, fielded by Scheiderer, flips to second for 1, the relay in time, and there's the double play to end the inning. So Carson Silva lets 2 on, but gets out of it, and we're scoreless going to the bottom half of the first. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network right here on the WBGU live stream.
I mean, you may begin to call me baseball.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. We're throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream.
You don't have to reference everybody either.
To the bottom of the first we go here at Steller Field. Carter Motice will lead things off for Bowling Green. He'll be followed by Lance Vickers, then Andrew Delodovico to begin things off. Defensive alignment for Central Michigan. Kylan behind the plate. Krasuk's over at first. Correa at second. Loykitz at short. Webb at third. Prout, Knowlton, Bowman. Outfield left to right for the Chippewas. Same lineup that head coach Kyle Hallock went against Ohio State. The only difference, Lance Vickers switches with Braden Curlis. Vickers moves up from the 4-hole to the 2-hole. Curlis, the cleanup batter today.
Yeah, it's a big,
Tyson Potts on the mound for Central Michigan, delivers a strike to begin his outing.
that's a big move up for Lance Vickers as well. Coming into this year, didn't know where his spot on the team was going to be, and nice to see the trust in his bat, especially given that DH role and so high in the order.
It's definitely a big test for him, a big step up in terms of the pressure put on him in the batting order. Tyson Potts, a senior righty for Central Michigan. A 1-1 count on Carter Motice. Gets an off-speed to float in there for a strike. Potts, a .590 earned run average and a 1-2 record this year. This is his 9th appearance, 6th start. 29 innings pitched. He has 23 strikeouts to 12 walks. His next pitch, flown out to right field. Coming in is Bowman, and he will make the catch for the first out of the inning.
Pretty good sequence put together by Potts there early. Went with the off speed up and away, and then kind of jammed up Motice on the inside and got him to hit that lazy fly ball. Always dangerous here as well with getting the ball in the air, depending on where the wind's blowing in the day and depending on the team that's able to leave the yard.
Lance Vickers steps into the box. Potts, a guy really trying to find a rhythm. out there on the mound. Has not been able to do it in Mid-American Conference play or as of late. In MAC play, 5 games. He's 1-1 with a 6.66 earned run average. 14 strikeouts to 10 walks. If you look at his past 3 outings isolated, as going around Vickers, called by home plate umpire Sal Giacomontonio. He's behind the plate. Michael Schultz over at first. Ron Whiting over at third today, the umpiring crew. The next pitch inside for a ball. But Potts over the past 3 outings, it's a 7.63 earned run average. And you're looking at 7 strikeouts to 7 walks with 6 hit by pitches.
Yeah, and you saw right there that inside pitch that he gave Vickers. And you saw Vickers sitting in on it, and I'm sure that's what's known by these hitters, especially to the starter of Central Michigan, is knowing that he likes to throw inside. You don't back out on those, and you're certainly not able to turn on them if they hang over the plate.
Head of the count here is Vickers, and he will draw a 5-pitch walk. So these 2 halves of the inning starting very eerily similar. In the top of the first, Bryson Webb popped out, and then Cole Prout singled. Bottom of the first, Carter Motice flew out, and now Vickers gets on base via the walk.
Yeah, that's what he's done well as well. I mean, you think about hitters trying to get hits, but just getting on base is what it's about. And Lance Vickers, 4 walks, 5 hits in his last 5 games. He's been impressive, just been on base for guys to knock him in, and that's what you want in those top 2 holes. You just want guys on base, so you get maybe some bigger bats, some bigger power guys up, and they'll be able to hopefully score you.
And that's what you'd love to see if you are Bowling Green, a few of those guys develop some more of that power. Because without Brady Birchmeyer in the order, that's what this lineup's pretty much missing at this point. Delodovico into the plate after the pickoff unsuccessful. Delodovico, a guy that having a breakout season as a freshman, a .306 batting average coming into today's game, 11 RBIs on the year.
Yeah, it was 4 for 11 last week.
He chops it over the left side. Lloyd Kitts fields it. No play at second. A nice pick over at first by Krasuk to get the easy out as Vickers advances to second.
I think maybe a little bit of an easier play than he made it look. Didn't set his feet, but still a very nice throw. Confidence, a good pick over at first base, too. Be able to put the play away. That's a big out to get to. Run out of the hands of the Falcons. No way to manufacture here. You really just got to single him in or something.
Brandon Curlis into the box for the Falcons. First pitch he sees outside for a ball. This has been a big challenge at times for Bowling Green this year, is hitting with runners in scoring position. .253 batting average for the team in these situations throughout the season. Gives a swing to this one, grounds it up the middle. Going to be fielded by Lloyd Kitts. The shortstop goes to first. Krasuk can't field it. Coming home to score will be Lance Vickers. And Bowling Green gets on the board first. 1-0 in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that's one that was certainly more routine than the last play that the shortstop made and just threw it away. Certainly a throwing error on the shortstop, I would imagine, and you're leaving your first baseman out to dry in that situation. Falcons catch a break there.
Yeah, you'd have to believe that will be a throwing error, and Bowling Green will take the run however they got it. Anthony Mita into the box for the Falcons. .290 hitter on the year. He's a guy that's shown a bit of pop. 9 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 17 RBIs. He's had a hot bat as of late as he looks at a ball outside. Anthony Mita riding a 5-game hitting streak. Longest of any Falcon in the lineup today. 9 for 17 over that hitting streak. 7 runs batted in. 4 doubles and a homer, and he grounds this to the right side, making a 6-game hitting streak. Curlis will take a big round around second and dive headfirst into third, safe. Falcons with runners on the corners and 2 outs now.
That was a nice hit right there. Not trying to do too much. Ground balls that get through look just the same as frozen ropes over the shortstop's head. And we mentioned how much pop Mita has. That's a mature swing right there to just take what you're given. And the Falcons continuing to threaten 2 outs.
Speaking of power, Vinny Salvioni, out of qualified batters, the highest slugging percentage on this Bowling Green team, .495. leads the Falcons with 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Fouls off the first pitch. Big moment right here for Bowling Green to see if they can capitalize and really make it a statement first inning. Up 1-0 with runners on the corners and 2 outs.
Salvioni's had a very good last 2 games. Trying to continue that now. Ohio State and Lords. He was a very good bat, maybe the best bat in the order.
It's an interesting pickoff attempt over to first by Potts. Just goes the sidearm sling.
Yeah, you always got to worry about the runner on third, too, when you're throwing over to first base. Certainly got to be an accurate throw to first.
Especially with already having seen an error, a throwing error over to first. So the count even, 1-1. Salvioni over the past 4 games has driven in 4 runs. 6 for 18 at the plate over that span. Potts will go over to first again, a little high on that one.
And
Krzyzuk had to get on his tippy toes to grab that.
Not much of a lead for Mita either. And he's tried stealing a little bit this season, but hasn't had much success. I mean,
just 2 for 5 on the base paths. Another pickoff attempt over to first.
And you look at this Falcon order, too. You got Salvioni up at the plate, Tackett's behind him, Alex Laird, who's had a relatively hot bat. You wouldn't think it's the worst thing in the world if you led off the second inning with Salvioni already having getting run across and making Potts really think about you.
So the 1-1 pitch fouled off again to the right side. Potts a strike away from getting out of the inning.
I mean, you got to be short here if you're Salvioni, right? You just got to find some grass somewhere, hopefully get it through a gap. Guarantees a run in. You've already been essentially given a run on the air. You need to get one across on your own merit.
The delivery from Potts down low, taking off and trying to draw a throw unsuccessfully is Mita. He will stride into second safely.
Good pitch to go on, too. Is going to be an off-speed on a 1-2 count. You had the pitch to burn. Is probably going to be out of the zone. You don't want to leave it in the zone for a guy with power, and that's what Salvioni has.
So now Salvioni a real chance to make a difference here with one swing of the bat. 2-2 count. The pitch chopped over to the left side, fielded cleanly by the third baseman Webb. His throw's on the target, and that's how the inning ends. But Bowling Green scores 1, and they lead it 1-0 as we head to the top of the second, right here on the WBGU live stream.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. Throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream.
First baseman, Brady Krzyzuk.
To the top of the second we go at Steller Field. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you. Carson Silva got out of a jam in that first inning as he induces a fly ball out to left center field as Tackett's will track it for the first out of the inning.
The tough read. The wind's blowing out to right field and just kept carrying that away from Tackett's. And this is back-to-back innings, too, of first pitch swinging for Central and pretty big hacks on the first pitch too, and there's got to be something they're seeing in Sova on that first pitch.
Miguel Carrera Jr.
You mentioned that wind. Wind will probably play a factor for most of this game. About 10-mile-per-hour sustained winds up to 20-mile-per-hour gusts, pretty much blowing out towards right field. Miguel Carrera Jr. into the box, looks at a first pitch strike. Correa on the year, a .231 hitter. Not a guy that gives you a ton of pop. Just 4 extra base hits all season. But he will reach base. Shakes off the off-speed on the 0-2 count. This was another challenge Bowling Green had that has been fixed a little bit as of recently, as it's the challenges of finishing off batters.
Yeah.
2 strike counts. That's something when they were in the rough of it, losing in that Ohio series, losing that midweek game to Findlay. That's what the pitching staff struggle with most, is putting away batters when they have the opportunity. Correa chops it over. Nice glove field by Scheiderer. His throw's on the money. Quick 2 outs by Carson Silva.
Well, getting back to your point just there, Tyler, I mean, you don't have to, you get to a 1-2 count, you get to an 0-2 count, you expect that you're able to get the strikeout. I mean, that's the way pitchers are tailored now, is they're tailored to go out and get that strike 3 to send guys back to the bench without their field having to do anything. But, I mean, you can do what Sova did just there and just get a ground ball. It's what he did in the first inning.
The problem with a lot of that, of trying to get those punch-outs only, is you can find yourself working around so much, as that one nearly caught on the side, but you find yourself working around so much that you end up putting yourselves in bad positions by not attacking and giving the batter some leverage.
Well, and even though these guys are, at the Division I college level, you miss pitches once in a while and you get a little bit too fancy on a 1-2 count. You just miss a pitch, and now all of a sudden the pressure's kind of on you to throw something in the zone, and you put all the gumption back into the batter, and that's certainly not something you want.
Joey Milto lines this to the left side, but straight at TJ Tackett's, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the second, worked by Carson Silva. He's finding a rhythm on the mound, and we're going to the bottom of the second. Bowling Green 1-0 over Central Michigan on the WBGU live stream.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. Throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. This is our living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. This is our living the dream. We're living the dream.
1-0 Bowling Green as we go to the bottom of the second here at Steller Field. Tyler Kavlitz, Ben Koryak from the Falcon Media Sports Network with you. Ben, Bowling Green's offense got a run around in the first inning. See what the bottom of the order can do with Jay Tackett's, Alex Laird, Griffin Scheiderer doing.
Yeah, it was unfortunate they weren't able to get another run in. Had a pretty good situation, second and third. Not a favorable count for Vinny Salvioni, but they were already kind of given a run on the error in that first inning. And this bottom of the order is pretty solid bottom of the order as well. Tackett's, we know the potential that he has. Alex Laird's had some pretty good games as of late, and Griffin Scheiderer is kind of an extension of that leadoff spot. He's a very leadoff feeling player, so pretty solid 7, 8, and 9.
TJ Tackett's a guy still looking to get back to 100% at the plate. As he lines up the middle, almost took off the head of Potts. And that'll be a leadoff single for Tackett's. Nice way to start the inning if you're Bowling Green.
That's a pretty good rip. Took that right up the middle.
That's what head coach Kyle Hallack has been referencing multiple times, and times we've gone to talk to him post-game that, you know, there's some things that might not come all the way back for Tackett's, who was coming off a torn ACL last year, like the speed. You might not see that all the way back this year, but those swings have been getting better and more consistent, and that was some of his best contact this season right there. Buntley down by Laird, the speedster. The toss just in time by Potts to retire Laird, but doing his job, advances TJ Tackett's 90 feet, now in scoring position on second.
Yeah, you get 2 tries now at getting a hit. Scheider and Motice back to back. Smart play there, especially when you're already up a run. You got a little bit of work and your pitcher's dealing. So if you're head coach Kyle Hallack, that's a pretty routine. There you go.
Yep, runs inside, hit him on the foot. So first and second for Bowling Green, and back to the top of the order with Carter Motice. And there's those control issues that we were seeing with Potts. That's now his 8th hit by a pitch in the past 4 games.
Yeah, he's got a hit by pitch in each of the last 5 games, so I guess that's a streak that you don't necessarily like to have, but one that continues. 4 hit by pitches against Toledo March 21st. I mean, you got to be scared to get in the box at that point.
Something you got to
consider. To be behind the catcher.
Might have to make a business decision.
Yeah.
Motice flew out to right. His first time at the plate. Nice job of Tackett's just dancing around a little bit at second, getting the attention of Tyson Potts, making him reset.
You're playing with house money on second base. The odds of them throwing back now, it's going to happen.
The odds of them throwing back
small.
and getting you are even slimmer.
Oh, exactly. And you're already in scoring position. There's no need for you to move up. So really, if you think about it, you can play as conservative as you want. You just got to dance around there and make him look at you. Worry about literally anything but the strike zone and the batter.
Tackett's is a veteran as well. He's been around the game for a while here in Bowling Green, knows the drill. There's a throw back to second, and I mean, never going to be really that close unless you're super far off, but it's the mind game of just keeping his attention, making him think about having to go back and execute that, and then now he has to re-engage and think about what he's going to throw. It's just makes those pitchers overthink just a little bit, give the advantage to the hitter. A little bit of a half swing out of Motice. Looked like he got caught in between. Maybe tricked on exactly what pitch he saw out of the hands.
Yeah, that's a very good pitch by Potts. Take his mind off of Tackett's at second base and turn it toward the batter. Kind of an unhealthy swing by Motice. Don't like swinging in that situation either. Because
I agree with that.
I mean, that's why you get a situation where you're rattled isn't the right word, but your pitcher's worrying about something that's not you. And unless it's really a cookie on a 2-0 count, I would have let that ball go. And
or one of those.
who knows what you would have had.
Wait until he throws you a strike.
Exactly.
Let him do the work.
You got a good count here, though.
3-1 pitch, fouled off. Now full count with the 1 out. First and second. Lance Vickers, who has been really swinging the bat well, waits on deck. Potts' pitch outside. Walk drawn by Carter Motice. Second walk issued by Potts. And the bases are loaded for the Falcons with Lance Vickers coming to the dish.
I don't know where Potts was trying to go with that pitch, to be honest. Looked like backdoor. Obviously didn't want contact. That's why you go with that slider, curveball, something bending on the outside part. You don't want him to swing. You had got him in a couple of times, so I guess that's the idea. But just not executing on his pitches, and we've talked about the hit by pitches. And just
felt like one of those he was just banking on Motice extending out of the zone.
Yeah.
Motice stayed disciplined. And
well, and in fairness, too, Motice did chase on that 2-0, which likely was going to be a ball, that 2-0 pitch. And tough on a full count. Got to have guts to do it, but didn't pay off there.
So Vickers walked his first time up, has the bases loaded. That one's going to be stopped momentarily by Webb, but squeaked past him, and it'll score a run. So 2-0 Bowling Green, now in the bottom of the second.
I'm interested to know what the score is going to be on that, because that was a scalded ball.
I would imagine a single.
One that Webb,
yeah.
he probably should have stopped. I mean, it hits your glove. I remember coming up in baseball, if it hits your glove, you expect to catch it. So.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't think there's a bad.
I would
ruling
imagine
in that
a
situation.
single on that one would be my guess, and it will be a single. So give an RBI to Lance Vickers. Vickers now with 4 RBIs in the season. And you have to remember, this just his 14th game, 12th start. He's a guy that emerged really halfway through the season for the Falcons. Delodovico will try to add on to it here for Bowling Green. Still bases loaded for him. Half swing out of him. Appeal down to first base umpire Michael Schultz said he went around. Count goes to 0-2. Mildly outside. That's again one of those we're talking about. That one, maybe just a throwaway pitch, but
Yeah,
trying to get a little too pretty with it.
looked like a fastball, and certainly one he tried to overthrow there. Really trying to throw it by Delodovico, and it's not going to happen more times than it doesn't.
Comes back in a bit with the fastball. Painting the outside corner. Delodovico fouls it back.
See where Potts goes here. I imagine you want a ground ball. I mean, obviously you want that double
That's what you'd
play.
have to think.
Delodovico's probably going to try and keep it in the air if possible.
Spiked in the dirt, so the count will run even. Delodovico grounded out his first time up. Chopped it over to Loykitz, the shortstop. Bowling Green didn't have a hit until the 5th man in the order, in the form of Anthony Mita in that first. The 2-2 pitch, swung on up the middle, hits the rosin bag. They get the out at second and at first on a close bang play. Michael Schultz said the throw was in time. Big disagreement from Delodovico, but that's how the second inning ends. But up before Bowling Green adds another. 2-0 Falcons as we go to the top of the third. We'll have the introduction of a trivia question when we come back on the WBGU live stream.
One run.
Top of the third, 2-0 Bowling Green as the bottom of the order for Central Michigan due up. Zach Knowlton, Drew Loykitz, Bryson Webb. So Ben, a little trivia time. I'm going to introduce a question to you here top of the third. You'll have till top of the 5th to give me a final answer. Central Michigan, and I'm sure we'll get into it some more throughout the broadcast, historically one of the better baseball programs in the Mid-American Conference. They claim 15 Division I NCAA tournament appearances, and that is the second most of any MAC team. Question for you today is which MAC team has the most Division I NCAA tournament appearances? This program has 16. Your options are A, Ohio, B, Kent State, C, Western Michigan, or D, Eastern Michigan. Any initial thoughts on that one?
I don't know. I don't think it's Kent State. I feel like that's the routine pick.
Okay.
I am from the Michigan area, and I did hear a lot about Eastern and the success of Eastern in the past. So I think Eastern could be a sneaky, actually be the number one.
The full count pitch, fouled off. Do it again at 3-2.
But I think I've limited it down to those two, Kent State and Eastern Michigan.
Okay.
Might have to ponder it a little bit more.
You got a little bit of time. You got till top of the fifth.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit of on this day baseball history in the fourth to break it up. So keep that one in the back of your head. Think about it for a second. Chopped over to short. Schneiderer cleans it fieldly.
Ooh. He
And
made
his
that
throw
close.
in time. Back-to-back close plays going back to how last half inning ended, and both of them in the form of outs.
Yeah, Knowlton was burning down the line there. I mean, he was hauling, and that's what you like to see as a coach do. You see a guy that hits what is a routine ground ball to shortstop, and he's really chugging down the line to get a single out of that, make the scorer have to make a decision on it. I mean, that's the kind of thing that gets you in at bats, pinch hit at bats, and gets you starts later on in the season.
Both shortstops having to stay active earlier in this game, too. A lot of action towards each shortstop. Schneiderer for Bowling Green and Loikitz for Central. Carson Silva continues to deal out there on the mound for Bowling Green. Seems like he's very comfortable, a lot more comfortable than he was last time out for the Falcons.
I mean, you look at his last start, 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings, 2 runs in the fifth as well. Didn't get through that fifth. He ended with 4 2/3.
That slide over. What a diving stop by Schneiderer. Can he get the throw in time? Will not be able to get that throw across in time, but nonetheless, a fantastic stop by the freshman as he went into the outfield part of the turf. And that will result in a 1-out single for Loikitz and resets the order back to the top with Bryson Webb.
Yeah, fantastic play there, but that pretty much single written all over. That would have had to take a cannon shot to be out at first
Oh,
base.
Ellie De La Cruz arm he needed right there.
And that was not the hardest hit line drive in the world either. It wasn't like you had
He'll
the
just
benefit
put in a
of
beautiful
hot ball.
spot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Carson Silva has that off-speed working right now. He's
Oh,
diversified that and where he uses it.
And
He's getting some at-bats with it, using it as his strikeout pitch, using it middle of the counts. He's doing a little bit of everything with that looping curve.
And you can see clearly too, like Bulo DeVico's he's setting up and it's hitting his spot. Like Silva's he's not getting benefit because of how much he's bending. He's putting it in the right spots, and that's why he's had so much success these first 2 innings. I mean, this
Goes right back to it.
definitely the best start to any of the starts this season, I would imagine. I mean, he's got a pretty good position. He's got ground balls. He's got lazy fly balls. He's done a lot.
See if he can put away Webb. First ball of the at-bat. Count goes to 1-2. Webb, a pop-out victim to begin the game in the first inning. Popped out over to Mead at first. Came into the game just a tick above 300 on the season, 302. Up the middle, step on second by Schneiderer. The throw up high, but Mito went up to grab it. Came down in the bag and beat Webb to it. The second inning-ending double play of the game for Bowling Green. They stay ahead 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third on the WBGU live stream.
faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes, I'm high on life. I'm throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream.
Bottom of the third, the Bowling Green Bats coming up once again. It'll be Braden Curlis, Anthony Mita, Vinny Salvioni, 4, 5, 6 due up in the order. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Ben, Falcons have scored 1 in each of their first 2 innings at the plate. Let's see if history repeats.
Yeah, it was a pretty good start for the Falcons, especially offensively. They've done a lot of good things. Potts has worked as best he could, but he's missed in some pretty bad spots and got himself into some pretty poor counts there.
Pitch count already up to 38 for Tyson Potts, which, you know, isn't crazy high considering the situations he's been in. He's done a fairly solid job of limiting the damage. Not completely avoiding it, but limiting it.
Yeah, and I'll keep hitting on it. He's done it with ground balls. Last inning, it was a ground ball double play and a pretty hard hit ball that was a line drive, but he right to the second baseman. And I mean, you get a double play out of it. The first inning, it was a ground ball, and he was 1 ground ball to Braden Curlis, who's up at bat now, away from being out of that inning with no runs. So
Curlis reached base safely on an error the first time by the shortstop Loykins. Loykins makes the throw complete there that time, on target for the first out of the inning. Brings up Anthony Mita.
Tell you what, they're getting their work over there on the left side of the infield.
Might be an understatement at this point. It feels like every ball that's hit in the field is going to the shortstop.
Ones the third base have been scorched. The ones the shortstop have been in that mid-range where it's not necessarily a hard hit ground ball, but it's not a soft hit ground ball. It's kind of a difficult one to place if you're the infielder, and you don't want to rush the throw, but you don't want to take too long to throw it either.
Nice job dotting the fastball on the outside by Potts to begin the at-bat against Mita. Mita singled his first time up. One of 3 Falcon hits so far. Mita, Vickers, and Tackett singling. Make it a 2-hit game for Anthony Mita as he sends one into right field. And Bowling Green with another base runner with 1 out.
It's almost exactly where his other hits, where his other hit was too. I mean, the lefty, you're getting that pitch in from the righty. Looks like it's coming in from about the shortstop, and it's easy to get around on. And Potts isn't really throwing it too big velocity-wise.
He's very much throwing to contact in a lot of these at-bats, and I would argue the times he's gotten in trouble is when he's tried to go away from that and trying to get a little too cute on the corners.
And he's gotten out of trouble using that contact. Yep. And it's again, it's tough for pitchers now that are groomed from the time they're young to throw for strikeouts. I mean, that's what's sexy about the game, is sending guys down back to the dugout.
Yeah, I mean, it's just completely different when you grow up. Now you're thinking the next generation going to grow up watching Tarek Skubal and Paul Skeens pitch instead of guys, you know, back in the day that would purely pitch to contact like a Greg Maddox, who had a changeup, but for the most part, Maddox was, you know, trying to work the corners, but also just trying to get you to ground out. Up and in, backs up Salvioni.
And there's a portion of the game, too, that you got so many guys that are so talented, but the amount of people talented enough to throw like Tarek Skubal does is well, he's the best pitcher in the world, so one.
Arguably. Paul Skeens has an argument there.
Right. No, he does not.
Count evens up at 2-2. But, I mean, you look at those two, and they're just freaks. Yeah. The limits they push their arms to be able to do that, an average human cannot do that.
No. No, that's why they are at the level they are, because they're not the average hitter, not even close.
Nice job
That's a good
by
play.
Salvioni, just throwing the head of the bat at that ball, fouling it off to stay alive. We'll see what Potts decides to come with next, whether he tries to get Salvioni to extend out of the zone and go fishing, or attacks him. He'll go for the first option, and Salvioni looks it off, and another full count here with 1 out and a runner on.
That's fine from Potts, too. You got options here. You can go up and in hard after soft and away. You can tunnel that. You can throw a fastball, low rail. I would say you want to keep it low and keep harping on it. You want a ground ball. You got a runner on first, 1 out. Taylor made.
This one set in the air to the right side. See if it stays in play. Krasuk over to the wall. He made the catch.
Man, that just kept
Went
drifting.
straight into that wall and hung on to it. And that's new this year. Last year, you would not have been able to do that at Steller Field. That wall was about double the height it is right now, and it was a chain link fence. Now it's a padded wall half the height, and allows a play like that by Krasuk to be made for the second out of the inning.
Well, it's tough to do as a fielder, too, because you've never made that play on this field, or at least I don't think you have. You don't know where the wall is necessarily. You're just trying to go get the ball, and one that's drifting toward the fence, that's in the back of your mind, too, as you're running over. You don't want to, lose any ribs because you're going for a pop fly in the third inning,
That was heavy contact in the wall. You saw him back up just a second, but he hung on to it. TJ Tackett's singled and scored his first time up. Led off the second inning with that single. Almost hit Potts as it went up the middle.
Huge holes over on the right side of the infield, too. That's the advantage of having a runner on first and a lefty up. Tackett's has got so much turf to shoot through now. I mean, he's got pretty much everywhere from second base to middle of second base, and first baseman on the bag because he's got to hold him on.
Tackett's hitting just 208 on the season coming into the game, but he's starting to pick it up a little bit as of late. Coming off his first home run of the season the other day, as that power is the next kind of thing that begins to creep back for TJ Tackett's. It was first a battle of figuring out to read the pitches correctly. Had a lot of strikeouts beginning of the year with that. That's beginning to subside. Then it was about getting the bat speed back up and getting the contact, finding his barrel. And once that contact got down, the power started to come with it. Another pickoff attempt over to first.
Now, that's a play that's going to go unnoticed. It's not even a play, just that pause that Potts held there. Made both the batter and the runner think about it. Made everybody on the field guess what he was going to do, when he was going to do it. That's so valuable for a pitcher to have.
Tackett's bites off the fastball up high. Count goes even 2-2. It really is for the pitcher to be able to control the pace of the game in the era of a pitch clock. It becomes a lot harder than it was 5 years ago.
It's mandatory. You have to stay on top of the pace of the game. He's really wanting that inside part.
Tackett's doing a good job of looking it off. Was behind in the count 1-2. Has now brought it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. Falcons lead at 2-0 in the third. Here's the payoff pitch. A swing and a miss out of Tackett's. He's down on strikes to end the inning, and it stays 2-0 Bowling Green as we go to the top of the fourth at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream.
Third, no runs on 1 hit.
Top of the fourth here at Steller Field. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Heart of the order for Central Michigan due up. 2-3-4, Cole Prell, Harrison Bowman, Logan Kylan. And as we hit this fourth inning, time for a little on this day in baseball history, looking at some historic moments that happened on April 10th throughout the years of baseball. So we'll start off, Ben, 1913. It was a game that featured U.S. President Woodrow Wilson throwing out the first pitch. The New York Highlanders officially became the New York Yankees. They played their first game under this new nickname, and they ended up losing to the Washington Senators 2-1 as future Hall of Famer Walter Johnson picked up the win for Washington. Then in 1947, and one of the most significant moments in baseball history, as Tackett will make the catch for the first out of the inning. In one of the most significant moments in baseball history, Jackie Robinson became the first black player of the 20th century to sign a major league contract. He agreed to a one-year deal with the Brooklyn Dodgers, whose general manager, Branch Rickey, personally recruited Robinson from the Negro Leagues, and he would play his first game on opening day, which would take place 5 days later. Then in 1962, Dodger Stadium, the first major league ballpark privately financed since Yankee Stadium opened about 40 years before, opened in Chavez Ravine with over 52,000 fans on hand. The Dodgers inaugurated the $22 million facility with a 6-3 loss to the Cincinnati Reds. They ended up sharing that ballpark with the Angels that year and for the next couple of seasons until the Angels got their own stadium. So we'll have some more in the bottom half of the inning, but always interesting to look back, and really a very historic day when you look through it, April 10th in baseball history.
Yeah, the big one I think of, like,
As another ball hit to the shortstop here. Nice play by Schneider for the second out of the inning. Boy, those shortstops.
yeah, they're getting their work in.
They are getting their work in for sure. Practice paying off right now.
I think, too, as sports fans, is there a bigger, and bigger is a very vast term here,
Yeah.
but a bigger free agent, quote-unquote, signing in a history of sports than Jackie Robinson?
No, I don't think there is. I think that is because
I'm racking my brain trying to think of influential players that
Yeah.
weren't, but even just the
that is the defining cultural moment in sports.
most likely, yeah.
It is Jackie Robinson as that one. Boy,
Just foul.
Just foul. That is, if you had to pinpoint it, if you got a group of 20 sports fans in a room and said, jury style, you can't leave this room until you decide the most culturally significant moment in sports history, I think they're settling on Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, at the very least, the most significant signing
Yeah.
is a free agent.
I mean, you just look at the ramifications from it, not just in baseball, the rest of the sports.
Yeah.
He was a model for the culture and everything changing around segregation.
Introducing an entire new group of people to the game.
Nice job of Silva there, painting the outside part of the plate. One strike away from his second 1-2-3 inning of the contest. Here's his pitch. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the game for Carson Silva, and it's his second 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still a 2-0 Bowling Green lead right here on the WBGU live stream.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. We're throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time.
To the bottom of the fourth, we go at Steller Field. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon and Media Sports Network. Continuing a little bit on this day in baseball history as the Falcons come to bat again. Alex Laird, Griffin Scheider, then top of the order with Carter Motice. We go now to 2011, or apologies, 1964. A little difference there.
Yeah, just a bit.
Demolition began on the Polo Grounds in New York City, and it cleared the way for a housing project.
Really?
Yeah, housing
That's a sad
project
day.
replacing the Polo Ground. You know, before we go on to the next one, could you imagine having like Aaron Judge hit the Polo Grounds trying to go
I
deep
would
to
love
dead
it.
straightaway center field?
When I become dictator, I'll bring back the Polo Grounds.
Yeah, have fun constructing that project
Yeah, I
and
know.
finding a plot of land big enough.
Well, if they can put a housing project in, they can take it out. Oh,
Nice piece of contact flown out off the bat of Alex Laird, but pretty much straight towards Knowlton in center for the first out of the inning. So then, 1989, Ken Griffey Jr. got his first major league home run at the Kingdom in Seattle's 6-5 win over the White Sox. Then in 1994, former NBA star Michael Jordan singled twice, collecting his first 2 hits in his professional baseball career while playing for the Birmingham Barons of the AA Southern League. And then finally, in 2000, another Ken Griffey Jr. won. On his father's 50th birthday, Ken Griffey Jr. became the youngest player at 30 years, 141 days old, to hit 400 career home runs. Krzyzuk fields that cleanly at first, steps on the bag himself for the second out of the inning, resets the order to the top with Carter Motice. 0 for 1 on the day with a walk.
Potts has settled into this game very nicely. I mean, that second inning, he was in a bit of trouble, and that trouble was due to nobody's fault but his own. That run in the first inning, he can chalk up to error, and he was able to get out of it. But the third inning just won on a single, and he worked out of it cleanly, confidently. And then this inning, too, the first 2 outs, and it's so tough with nobody on to get any runs across if you're if you're an offense and 2 outs. I mean, that's nearly an impossible task.
Definitely is. Flown out to the left side. Foul. Count goes 0-2 quickly on Motice.
And he's hit the zone, and he hasn't missed by a lot. Like
He's
Falcon
been pitching to
hitters,
contact.
He's made Falcon hitters think around the edges of the strike zone instead of making them think that another one might be going into the dirt in the next batter's.
And I mean, you think about it, what, the solid piece of the contact Hackett's had, the single up the middle,
Yeah.
maybe one of those Mita hits to the right side, and then Laird made a solid piece of contact, just straight at a man. And that right there, wow. I don't know. Matt Remblack, the third base coach for Bowling Green, is at the bag, just pointing at it. That's third base umpire Ron Whiting saying it went foul. The umpire's going to meet about this one. That looked fair to me.
Yeah, by the posture of the home plate umpire, it didn't look like he agreed with the call. And to be honest, I've thought about this for a while. I think the home plate umpire is the best view on the field of those. I mean, it's tough to see where it crosses the bag necessarily, but it's such a tough angle.
I think you might have a better view of where it crosses the bag from home. I think that's the strongest part of that
possibly.
argument.
Possibly.
Because you're at third base, you're looking at it from an angle. If you're at home, you can reposition yourself to look
True.
straight down the line.
There is a depth thing, and you can very
That's
easily
true.
see whether it's on the right or left side of the foul line, obviously,
Yeah.
but to see where it actually crosses the bag is difficult. I just always thought that the home plate umpire should get that call. And they're really discussing this too, because now where do you put Motice if you call it fair? Yeah, and they're not going to be able to change it. That's what I figured was going to happen, even if they
Head coach
collectively
Kyle
thought it was the
Hallock
wrong
on the
call.
side just bends down into a hunch. Can't
Yeah.
believe the call.
I mean, that's tough. That was a very nice hit.
So the count stays 0-2 after it. Fouled off at the plate to stay alive by Motice. Still looking for his first hit of the game, the leadoff bat for Bowling Green. Has reached base once.
This is a bad situation for Motice, too. I mean, you've already done it once. You've done exactly what you wanted to do. And you would have had an extra base hit, which would have been his 5th double of the season had it stayed fair. Now you got to do it again.
Flown out to left field, and the catch made by Prout. To end the inning, a 1-2-3. Bottom of the fourth, worked by Tyson Potts, sends us up to the top of the fifth. We will have the answer to the trivia question when we come back on the WBGU live stream.
Hey, fans, here's something.
Top of the fifth here at Steller Field. Tyler Kamlitz with Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Brady Krasuk, Miguel Correa Jr., and Joey Milto, the three to begin the inning at the plate for Central Michigan. 5, 6, 7 in the order. So, trivia question I posed back to you, top of the third, Ben, that you now get to answer here is Central Michigan, second most NCAA, Division I NCAA tournament appearances of any MAC team with 15. They claim 16, but one of those is a D2. Which Mid-American Conference team has made the most NCAA Division I tournament appearances with 16? Your options: A, Ohio, B, Kent State, C, Western Michigan, D, Eastern Michigan.
I really don't know. I mean,
You were mauling it off air. You were really strong in Eastern.
I was Eastern and Kent State. I've singled it down those two, and I think I'm going to stick with the Michigan team. I mean, I'm not from Ypsilanti, but just the history around the Eastern Michigan program, how big they favor baseball there. I think it's pretty clean to go with Eastern Michigan. I feel like some good ball players come out of Michigan as well.
So you're going to go lock in Eastern Michigan?
I'm going to lock in the X-Hurons.
Bowling Green Baseball Sports Information Director Kyle Edmond is locking in Kent State as his guess. Both of you guys are incorrect. It's Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Ohio has 16. They're a sneaky, really good all-time program in the MAC, but here's the fun fact of this all. They made the College World Series in 1970. It's the only time they've made it in program history. They've made it back to the NCAA tournament 4 times since then. And 50 going into this year, 55 years after, they've made it just 4 times, as it's going to be a walk to begin the inning to Brady Krasuk. But, you know, that success early on in the program's history has let them reach 16.
You see that a lot of MAC teams as well. So many of those raw stats look so good because of things that happened
it's
so long ago.
It's because of the way that things were switched back then, as this ball going to go to the back, way inside. Delodovico behind the plate had no shot of stopping that one. Going to be a wild pitch for Carson Sova, and that's the control issues that Sova's had over the past 2 seasons at times, showing a little bit there. That's Sova's 5th wild pitch of the season. He had 10 last year. Yeah,
that was, you know, a good first at bat. I guess a plate appearance that he put together. Got to a full count, just couldn't get that final pitch. And that's a bad start to this at bat here.
Bunt laid down. Sova barehands it. His throw to first. Off the bag, Kane Meetup. And reaching safely is Correa. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, I was gearing up to say a good play by Sova to barehand that. He looked very confident. Looked like a decent throw, just a little bit up the line.
It really forced
plate
Mita to kind of run in.
Mita off,
Yeah.
And you could see him go for the tag, and I think that cemented the call for the umpire too, to see him go back and try and get the tag off. Kind of gives you that inkling that his foot was off, and this is a brutal start to this.
Also, something to think about, maybe not used to that extra bag being there to the right.
Also true.
Thinking about avoiding the runner when not remembering the runner has a little bit of a clearer path to the right side.
Yeah, and smartly enough, it's going to be a throwing error against the pitcher because it took him up the line, and had it not,
And that
would have been
makes
able to
sense.
keep his foot on.
So, first error of the day for Bowling Green. Has runners on the corners for Central Michigan with nobody out. Bowling Green ahead 2-0. Chance for the Chippewas to make a dent in this game. Sova paints the outside corner to get ahead in the count again, 1-2.
Milto's got some decent pop. I mean, he does some good things. He can really drive the baseball.
Tries to paint the outside corner again. Hit too far. Couldn't get Milto to extend the zone.
He's starting to miss by wider margins now. Sova is.
Couple arms, couple players, I should say, starting to get loose in the Bowling Green
getting the
bullpen.
inkling of that too. He's just kind of lost it maybe a little bit, and both runners he's responsible for.
Nobody throwing it as Sova induces a swing and miss. Got Milto to extend the zone off the outside corner. Second strikeout of the game for Carson Sova. First out of the inning, and it's a big one. Traditional double play set up now with the runners on the corners. Chance an exit route for Sova. The Bowling Green has ended 2 innings via the double play so far today.
Yeah, that was a nice change of speeds on the outside edge to get him a little bit off the plate. That's exactly where he wanted it. Also had another pitch to give, so not the end of the world. Just smart by this battery for the Falcons and coaching staff if they had any input on that.
Well, that pitch has been beautiful today for Sova. That big curveball, he's used it a lot to begin at bats. Starts off Zach Knowlton with it there. Knowlton grounded out to short, as many players have today. His first time up. Almost got hit up in the head there, had to duck down below that. Might be the biggest height difference we've seen this season. Zach Knowlton at the dish, 5'8". Carson Sova has the throw down and not in time, reaching safely on the stolen base to second. Miguel Carrera Jr., 2 in scoring position for Central Michigan now. So Zach Knowlton at the plate, 5'8". Carson Sova on the mound, 6'10".
Yeah, I mean, especially that one up and in, like that ball just doesn't drop, and you expect it to coming out of the hand of 6'10", and it just stays up there. I mean, coaches tell you, you tell yourself, stay in the box, stay in the box, stay in the box. Don't duck away from, you want to eat it. Obviously up.
A little different when it's
toward
coming
the
at your
dome,
head.
but, I mean, his hand's releasing the ball a good couple of feet above the head.
That's a nice piece of hitting right there as Knowlton lines it into open grass. And that will score 2 as Central Michigan has evened up the game on one swing of the bat from Zach Knowlton.
Such a nice piece of hitting. He got that upper end hard pitch, took it to the opposite field, and again, just like hitters have done on both sides today, he didn't do too much with it. He took it where the pitch was coming to him. He did what he could, knowing that he had 2 runners in scoring position, only a single needed to get the runs in, and he got it. And now as soon as we were talking about Carson Sova, how good he's been so far, this one kind of pretty bad start to the inning is compounded. Still got a runner on, it's only 1 out.
Drew Loykitz, the 9-hole hitter in the box, reached on a single his only time up, which was back in the 3rd. Lays down a bunt. Sova over to first, this one on the target. Second out of the inning as Knowlton advances into scoring position at second.
Even though it's a tie game, if you're Central Michigan, you're kind of playing with house money in this inning. You want to get another run across. A single will get this run in now likely. Knowlton's not slow. He's got some speed to him. Certainly he'll be able to score, especially a single to the right side. And Central's been willing to take the ball to the opposite field. There's a big gap over there on the second base side.
Nice stop by Delodovico behind the plate, keeping Knowlton at second. Top of the order now for Central Michigan, Bryson Webb. 0 for 2, a pop out to first, and an inning-ending double play grounded into over at short. Silva starts behind the count, 2-0. Control starting to waver just a bit for Silva. Finds the zone there. Count goes to 2-1. Rodney Rogers, BGSU president, in attendance with the Falcon fanatics behind the plate, watching this contest. 2-2 game between Central Michigan Bowling Green. Silva just a bit high with that fastball. Count now 3-1.
He's thrown good pitches on batters' counts. I mean, he really has today. And we'll see if he can do it again.
Just misses outside. That was about as close as it gets on that outside corner. Delodovico framed it well. Couldn't get the call from home plate umpire Sal Giacomontonio. So, first and second with 2 outs, and the 2-hole hitter, Cole Prout, up to the plate.
It's like more.
Now Halleck's going to have a discussion here.
Yeah, it looks like some more rigorous warming going on in the bullpen, and this is probably just a time-wasting, lazy walk out to the mound for Halleck. And the other problem, too, you've got Cole Prout up, who's maybe one of the most dangerous hitters in this order. I mean, he's got 7 home runs, 5 doubles this season, a .550 slugging percentage, a ton of RBIs, good amount of runs scored for him. And last season led the team in home runs, doubles, RBIs, total bases, one of the higher OPSs. I mean, this is a dangerous hitter. This is a veteran hitter.
CJ Boudreau is the arm up in the bullpen for Bowling Green, right-hander. So, if that tells us anything, the leash for Carson Silva not going to be that long moving forward.
Yeah, this is a poor situation to be in, because I'm sure Halleck ideally would have liked to put in a lefty to see Prout. Prout's probably not going to exit the lineup. He wouldn't have a pinch hit this early on in the game.
Just 3 lefties in the lineup for Central Michigan. Prout batting second, Krasuk batting 5th, and Milto batting 7th. Silva starts from behind again. Only spending a lot of his attention looking back at second in these at-bats. Now 2-0. Central Michigan a chance to make a real change in this game. 3-0. We'll see right here. What do you think Prout mindset should be? You think you give him the green light at all on a 3-0, first and second, 2 outs?
Not in a tie game. If you were up, maybe.
Well, green light was on for him there. Sky high to the left side. All players chase after it, and it will be Curlis, the third baseman, who makes the catch to end the inning. So Carson Silva escapes, but he gives up 2. We have a tie ball game as we head into the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 between Bowling Green and Central Michigan on the WBGU live stream. Bowling Green bats up to the plate in the bottom of the 5th. Tie ball game now, 2-2 after Central Michigan brought across a pair against Carson Silva in the last half inning. For Bowling Green, it's Lance Vickers, Andrew DeLodovico, Braden Curlis. Heart of the order, 2, 3, 4, due up. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Happy to be with you all today.
Happy to be with you, Tyler. It's a good day for baseball.
I think this is our first call this year
think it
across
is.
any sports. I wasn't able to hop on any hockey.
I don't
with you
think
this
we've
year.
done a baseball game together.
I don't think we have either.
We've done basketball.
Done hockey.
We've done hockey. We have not done baseball yet.
No.
I think this is the first.
Might have to find my way to a softball broadcast.
You
by
might
the end
have
of the
to.
year.
You might have to. Just a little bit of a walk from here.
Yeah, just past the tennis courts. A nice pitch there by Potts as he gets the foul tip in the back of Kylan's glove from Lance Vickers. His second strikeout of the game and first out of the bottom of the 5th. DeLodovico next into the box.
Potts just dissected him, and that's a guy that's reached base twice already. I mean, Vickers walked in the first, singled in the second. He's got on base a lot. 4 out of the last 5 games, he's reached base. He's got a very good spell of on-base percentage, some very solid hitting. Has earned himself that second spot. And Potts handles him like he's nothing.
Beginning to get a bit chilly here in Bowling Green as the sun continues to set. And the wind continues to pick up slightly. Perfect weather for a pie right about now.
Yeah, one sitting on the windowsill.
Yeah.
What flavor do you imagine when you think of pie on the windowsill, Tyler? After this.
Webb fields it cleanly. And his throw, little snow cone action over at first. Krasuk able to pick it out of the turf for the second out of the inning. You know, that's a good question. I think I'm a berry pie guy. I think if I imagine a pie sitting on the windowsill, like
Nice
picture
blueberry,
book
strawberry.
fashion.
Yeah.
I think cherry.
Really?
Cherry's the first that comes to my mind. Now, if I have the choice, I'm probably going blueberry. A slept-on one might be a little older. A rhubarb pie.
I've
Fresh
never
rhubarb
had.
pie?
I cannot say I've ever
A
had.
little tart.
But I've heard of it. I'm a Michigan cherry guy. I mean, I love my cherries. Certainly, we made apple pear back in the day. My dad and I
There's
made
something
some
about
bean pies.
Michigan cherries up
We had
there.
a pear tree in our backyard. Yeah, the Michigan cherries, like nothing else. On some hockey trips this year, got some chocolate-covered cherries,
Ooh.
and I think I gained a couple of pounds.
What about a peach cobbler? Little
Peach
action?
cobbler's not bad. When you get to like those southern pies, I'm more of a pecan pie guy. I like the pecan pie and coffee is good. It's a good little dessert.
Banana cream pie is very popular over in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Coconut cream's pretty good.
Can't say I've ever had that.
Is there a bad pie? Eel
There
pie,
can't be,
maybe.
right?
Eel pie.
Okay, maybe if you get into the meat pies, but
Yeah.
is that really pie?
If we're going across the pond.
Is that really pie though?
I guess it is.
Shepherd's pie? Is
Shepherd's
that pie?
is very good. Chicken
is.
pot. Man, I could do chicken pot pie right now.
Little meeting between Hallock and Curlis over. Situational
over
talk.
some pie.
Maybe they're talking about which one they want after the game. Fielded cleanly by Krasuk after it was dribbled off the end of the bat. He flips it to Potts, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Potts, his second straight. He has set down 8 consecutive Bowling Green batters. And we go to the top of the 6th. Still a 2-2 ball game right here at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream. New pitcher into the game for Bowling Green in the form of C.J. Boudreau. Carson Silva's day is done. Boudreau, the sophomore righty, in 6'1", 189 from Oregon, Ohio. 101 this year, an .836 earned run average across 10 relief appearances. He's thrown 14 innings, 11 strikeouts to 7 walks. An opponent to a 96 batting average. Ben, if you don't mind giving us the final line for Carson Silva, who got his second straight start in terms of Mid-American Conference Series for Bowling Green. Fared a little better than before, ended a little rough.
Yeah, 5 complete innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. The strikeout to walk was not that great, but you look at just the innings pitched and the earned runs, and it's his best start of the season. Not even really close. 5 innings and 1 earned run. That last start that we just referenced, 4 2/3 and 6 earned runs. And at the start of the season, he had 3 in a row: Georgia Tech, Western Carolina, and Samford. All of those games, he had 4 or more earned runs, and all of them had 3 or less innings pitched. So not even close. His best start of the season. I think he struggled a little bit at the end, but still got his way kind of out of trouble. New noodle on the mound for the Falcons, trying to work through the Central Michigan Chippewas.
A little meeting here between umpires. Home plate umpire Sal Giacomontonio and third base umpire Ron Whiting, maybe talking about pies as well. Who knows?
Possibly.
Not sure exactly what that's about. That's over now. We're ready to get back on our way, but that's a very good sign if you're a Bowling Green fan to see Carson Silva settling in a little more. And the big thing is he felt more comfortable. It never felt like he was really rattled out there. It felt like he went at a decent rhythm, was mixing up his pitches well, and seemed to have, if not his A stuff, his B+ stuff.
Yeah, there were a lot of times he really could have fallen apart. I mean, he allowed that single to get 2 in, but one of those was on for an error. He had a wild pitch that advanced a runner, got him into scoring position as well. It didn't really feel like he lacked control at all. He got into trouble, but was never really losing control of the game. And I think he and Potts have put in a pretty good display, these 2 pitchers for these 2 teams.
First strike of the game thrown in by Boudreau. Last time out for C.J. Boudreau was Friday. He went 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. Struck out 2, walked 1 through 47 pitches. Another ball chopped over to shortstop. Scheiderer fields it. On the run is throw on the money. First down of the inning, and yet another ball hit towards the gap in between second and third. Those shortstops for both teams staying busy today.
Hallmark of Boudreau, not necessarily the strikeout pitching. He's just able to get outs. He had a pretty good appearance against Northern Illinois too a couple weeks ago. 3 2/3, 1 earned run, 1 hit, 1 walk. A pretty solid outing that was. Only a couple of guys on base. There's 3 2/3. One of the more consistent, reliable guys out of the bullpen, I'd say.
It's going to be interesting to see how Boudreau does today, because for some reason he has not had success at Steller Field this season. Just 2 games in his home ballpark against Ohio and Akron. He's 0-1 with a 15 earned run average. 5 runs given up in 3 innings as he gives up a single to the right side by Logan Kylan, his first base knock of the day. In those 3 innings, Boudreau has given up those 5 runs on 7 hits, including 3 doubles. So there's an interesting tidbit for Boudreau coming into this.
Yeah.
Maybe just the coincidence, not that many innings under his belt here at Steller Field, but it would be a nice feeling for him if he could get a solid outing out of it.
You always wonder why it is that certain players perform better on the road and at home, and it's even more puzzling when players perform on the road and not at home. Like, what is it different about? I mean, it should be easier to perform at home, and just for some players can't find that rhythm. And I think a lot of times,
some players like the adversity, like going into the hostile territories of being fired up, and sometimes it's too calm of an environment at home for them, which, you know, might sound odd or not right, but you know, in the mind of an athlete, sometimes that's the way it works. Sometimes, you know, there's 2 different kinds of players. There's the player that wants to be comfortable, and there's the player that wants to live in the uncomfortable and prove people wrong.
I'd also be interested to know that statistic you just read, home versus away, and how that differs on turf versus dirt. Because, I mean, you're coming into this year, your home field is no longer dirt. It's now turf, and some pitchers do not like turf mounds near as much as they like the dirt mounds.
That is also very true.
And I don't recall whether exactly Miami of Ohio or Northern Illinois have dirt or turf. But I've heard from a couple of pitchers that swear against the turf. They swear for the turf. They swear against the dirt. They swear for the dirt. I wonder how much, in Boudreau's case, but in a lot of cases, that changes the way these guys.
Definitely factors
in. It
in.
affects your plant foot. It
Definitely
has to.
factors
You're
in.
throwing all your weight on one leg. You want that leg to be stable.
I do think it's a better situation here at Steller Field with a consistent turf. You see some places with the turf strip down the mound, and I do not like those.
No, I agree.
You saw that's how Ohio State has it. Their field a little older in terms of the turf. They have the turf strip on the mound. I never really got the idea of that.
Yeah, it saves on maintenance.
True. But I think quality-wise, I'd rather have the better quality mound than the upkeep. I'd rather force myself to upkeep it than have to have something that my players are uncomfortable on.
And practically too, if you're going to put in turf, put turf everywhere. Make it consistent for everybody. I mean, there's fields that have grass outfields.
No reason in doing it halfway if you're going to do it.
Then the skips are weird coming off the infield and into the outfield. And I mean,
Toledo's got that. Toledo baseball at Scott Park has the half cut off, all the infield's turf, and then you see that line going out past the foul lines, and it's all grass in the outfield. And like you said, those lips can be really nasty.
Yeah, they can. Tough on infielders, especially how deep they play now.
Well, and also, just a random tidbit to think about: cleats.
Yeah.
If you're going to play with turf cleats as an outfielder,
turf shoes or
like
whether turf shoes are molded or
that's got to affect when it gets a little wet
out
there in the outfield. 3-2 pitch, runs inside. It'll be a walk issued by C.J. Boudreau. And two of the first three batters he faces reach base. First and second for CMU with just one out. Miguel Carrera Jr., who reached on an error his last time up, coming up to the plate.
Yeah, that was a heck of an at-bat by both sides. Boudreau moving in and out, up and down, but even better sight to be able to walk down to first base. Now there's two on. And still more threatening. This is back-to-back innings of big threats from the Chippewas.
Boudreau misses inside. Having a little bit of a hard time locating that fastball.
Yeah, the off-speed looks good, and he's just been inconsistent today with the fastball in just 2 plate appearances, or 3 plate appearances. And again, the successful pitchers that we've seen, which has only been 2 besides Boudreau and Sova and Potts, they've got ground balls. They've just got soft contact. I mean,
there hasn't really been a true barrel in the game.
I mean,
the hardest hit ball
had the one hit.
Yep.
And then the one that was called foul down the third base line, that was a pretty nice knock. But other than that, it's been dribblers.
Line out by Laird wasn't that badly hit. Gets a nice swing and a miss there on the fastball. Went up high with it. Count now 1-2 in favor of Boudreau. See if he can get a put-away pitch here.
That was a huge hack on a 1-1 count by Correa.
Trying to find the first barrel of the game. Gets contact to the right side. Chasing after it into foul territory, sliding and making the catch as he slides up to the wall was Laird. Tagging up, moving from second to third is Kylan. Krasuk stays put at first. So now 2 outs with runners on the corners for Central Michigan. Joey Milto, the batter, 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout last time up.
Only 14 RBIs in the season. That's a 97 at-bats. So he's got a lot of at-bats and hasn't had a lot of situation to knock guys in.
Does have power in the bat, 454 slug, 7 doubles, 4 homers. So he has the ability to send something deep.
You really don't want to leave something over the zone. For a lot of these Chippewas, but especially Milto, he will punish you.
Big shift on for him to the right side.
You see immediately inside. I mean, as a pitcher, you have to recognize that too. You have to pitch into the shift.
Yeah.
I mean, why throw outside pitches when you know, 3/4 of your infield are on the right side of the infield. You got to make sure you pitch into that strength. And if you have to set up, you set up like you tried there. But you have to just be aware of that.
Boudreau dancing around the zone. 2-0 the count. Central Michigan 90 feet away from taking the lead with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Runners off at first. Throw will go down to second. The tag not in time, and the Chippewas take the lead. Head coach Kyle Hallock is enraged out of the Bowling Green dugout. He is livid. Came out of that dugout barking at home plate umpire Sal Giacomontonio, and now he's going to give it to third base umpire Ron Whiting. Whiting and Hallock in a yelling match down the third base line.
This is a pretty good verbal scuffle they're getting into. And
Hallock's got to be a little careful here. Points to third, points to second. This is one of the more enraged versions of Kyle Hallock we've seen recently. Sal Giacomontonio, the home plate umpire, comes and joins the discussion.
There's been a couple of calls today. This might just be a boiling over of Kyle Hallock, because there was the double taken away from Carter Motais earlier in the game, and now that, which put a run on the board for Boudreau.
Giacomontonio walks Hallock back, but Hallock continued to bark at Whiting, the third base ump, as he made his way back to the dugout. So,
and with 2 outs too, I'm sorry, Tyler, the Falcons made the right play there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the call too for D'Lo DeVico to throw right down the second base.
Yep.
You hope that you can get the runner and that the runner coming home doesn't matter. And even the runner on third base, Kylan didn't even leave until the ball was almost at second base.
Yep.
Wanted to make sure it got out of the hand, and he pretty much coasted into home.
So Central Michigan ahead, 3-2. Ball 4. Runners on first and second again. And we'll see as well, something to consider, whether what Hallock just did gets this Bowling Green team more motivated. They haven't scored since the second inning. That could be a fire starter, and sometimes that's what those head coaches do that for. 1, to argue the call, but 2, also to get your team fired up and get them back in a position of fighting to take back a lead.
Yeah,
Hallock just trotting out to the mound. Don't see an arm ready to come in, so it should just be a discussion as Hallock now going to look back towards Giacomontonio.
Only thing I could see here is if he called that a mound visit.
There's
the only thing
Ron Whiting is walking down towards the Bowling Green bullpen.
Are they calling that they need to put a pitcher out?
What is Whiting doing down at the bullpen? That's what Hallock was looking back at. He's like, why is the umpire down at my bullpen? Whiting, arms outstretched at the bullpen. This is a mess.
Possibly getting words from a bystander or somebody down there that he wanted to go address.
Alrighty then.
And I think Hallock was making sure that was just counting as just one mound visit, because I don't recall whether he stepped on.
That's what I do if I saw an umpire walking down towards my bullpen. I would be concerned as well.
Yeah, if they ruled that was a second mound visit, and he didn't have a pitcher ready to go.
That's a good point because of the time called, but
that's what I thought it was
obviously that first time called was purely just to discuss with the umpires. So
yes,
there should have. It's the right call. That should have not been a mound visit, and it was not ruled a mound visit. So we're back underway now. Nothing changes. And Boudreau, again, same thing with Silva. It's going to be a short leash for him, as Bowling Green's going to get an arm up and throwing. There was no arm up and throwing at that last mound visit. So whoever's going up in the bullpen, we'll see how quickly they can get ready in the case that Boudreau continues to struggle to find the zone.
I mean, when Boudreau is put out there by head coach Kyle Hallock, he's expected to go a couple of innings. That's kind of been the pattern. I mean, he only got an out against Ohio, but
runs inside and hit him. Hit Nolden up by the shoulder. Bases loaded for the Chippewas with 2 outs. Drew Loykets up to the plate. Biggest at-bat of the game upcoming.
Yeah, he just lost control of that pitch, and that's unfortunate to load the bags up. Bring up a guy that's already got a hit. He sacrificed himself his last time up in the plate.
And now this is such a mental challenge for Boudreau.
Oh,
Bases loaded with 2 outs. You're 1 out away from getting out of it, but your control's starting to go against you. You just walked a batter. Now you hit one. You've walked 2 overall in the inning, given 3 free passes in the frame. Gets a foul ball to begin the at-bat.
And lucky enough that this is not a big power guy.
Yeah.
Andrew Loikitz.
Loikitz holding just a .293 slugging percentage. 3 extra base hits on the season.
That slugging percentage is 30 points above his batting average.
3 extra base hits on the season and 102, or 101, I should say, at-bats, and all 3 of them are doubles. So really, like you said, that 30-point difference, really nothing. No difference whatsoever.
Yeah, and he's got an 0-2 count.
He's actually just one of 2 batters in the starting lineup for Central Michigan without a home run, him and Correa. 1 strike away. Liner out to right center, popped up actually, and Salvioni, second baseman, settles right under it. So C.J. Boudreau escapes the bases loaded jam. But Central Michigan tacks on 1 more, and they now have the lead 3-2 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th here at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. We're throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream.
The Bowling Green Bats coming back up to the plate in the bottom of the 6th, and we will see how they respond to being down for the first time in the game, 3-2. Head coach Kyle Hallock getting animated last half inning, see if that lights a fire back under the Falcons, who have not scored since the 2nd inning, Ben.
Yeah, they haven't, but this is a good guy to start it with. I mean, Anthony Mita's had 2 hits today. He's not scored on either one of them, but he's had some pretty solid hits to get the Falcons going.
Mita puts one down to the left side. The throw will be up high and away. Mita will stay put at first, but reaches base safely with the use of the small ball.
That's going to be a hit. That was a odd decision. Certainly not one we were expecting, I'd imagine, and definitely not one the defense was expecting. It wasn't a bad play by Bryson Webb at third base to get over to the ball, but a hugely errant throw, and lucky it didn't cost him a bag there.
That's one that was going to be close regardless. Mita was making good pace down the line, so it will be a 3-hit day for Anthony Mita as he continues to stay red hot at the plate for Bowling Green. Brings up Vinny Salvioni. Salvioni shows bunt as well. Laid down, picked up by the catcher Kylan, and he gets the first out of the inning. Small ball back-to-back advances Anthony Mita into scoring position. How about that?
I love to see the bunts. I like to see the small ball, and I think the one-run game and plays maybe not to their advantage, but plays into the game. I mean, that's big contact. There hasn't really been, I don't think we've had an extra base hit so far in the game. It's a while why play into something that the game has turned out to not be? You might as well feed directly into what that is.
Yeah, no extra base hits for the Falcons. 3 singles for Anthony Mita, a single for Lance Vickers. And then you also have a single for TJ Tackett.
Third time in a week that Mita's had 3 hits. One against Akron, that he had 3 hits. One against Lawrence, that he had 3 hits, and now today as well.
Really picking
Talk about
things
a hot
up.
streak for him. He's up to 290.
I mean, you look at the 6-game hitting streak now for Anthony Mita as Tackett stands in. Over the 6-game hitting streak for Mita, he is now batting 12 for 20. You're batting over a 500 clip across 6 games. You're doing something right. So Tackett's in a comfortable spot ahead of the count. See how aggressive he is in this at-bat. As Potts finally finds the zone.
This is the 7th hitter in the order, but this is by no means an easy batter to get through. They know.
And Potts working his way through the 3rd time through the order. No easy challenge. Almost a big mistake there. That's the only base he can do that fake move to.
Yeah.
That's a balk if he he does that the 1st or 3rd.
And in this situation, wouldn't have meant too much besides a wild ball or a wild pitch or a pass ball. But still, an extra 90 feet is an extra 90 feet. Makes Tackett's job a lot easier.
Credit Potts here. He's even up the count 2-2 after starting behind 2-0.
You can't give gimmies to Tackett either. I mean, he'll pound it. You can't make mistakes. You really can't. And even though he struggled a little bit, it's just a matter of time before he really gets a piece of one. And they love watching the runners today.
A lot of pickoff attempts from Potts today. Hasn't been successful in one yet. See what he goes with on the 2-2. Get Tackett's to roll it over to the right side. Potts there to finish off the play at first. 2nd out of the inning. Mita advances another 90 feet over to 3rd base with Alex Laird striding into the box. 0 for 2 on the day, a ground out and a fly out.
Yeah, this is a good test for the mettle of Alex Laird. I mean, a guy that's in just above 200 is probably going to blow that after this game, depending on how he does here. Really got to make a splash here, a chance to tie the game up.
Laird looks off a first pitch ball, fastball just off the outside.
It also doesn't have an extra base hit. And again, that might be good for this game.
Laird's still waiting for that power to come around.
Yeah.
He's been a development project for Bowling Green. A lot of natural talent. He's got a good frame on him. 6'3", 204. You've seen the speed come along this year. Program and MAC record, 7 stolen bases in the game. You're just waiting for that power to come around now, but finds the hole there, and he ties up the game at 3 apiece. An RBI single for Alex Laird. And the Falcons on the board for the first time since the 2nd inning.
That's a big swing for him. Just his 8th hit of the season, a very big one. His 3rd RBI to bring the run in. That's exactly what the Falcons needed, and he didn't do too much. Again, this is a kid without an extra base hit. He doesn't have to swing for it. This game hasn't seen any of it yet. These pitchers have done a good job of keeping the ball on the ground. You might as well play into that, just try and get it through a gap and just out of reach of the shortstop.
And how about that? Just the 2nd hit of the game out of a player in the bottom 4 of the order for Bowling Green. Salvione's 0 for 3 in the 6 hole. Tackett's 1 for 3 in the 7 hole. Laird now 1 for 3 in the 8 hole. Scheider up to the dish, has been hit by a pitch and grounded out. Scheider was the leadoff guy for a lot of the beginning of conference play, end of non-conference play timeline for Bowling Green this season. Didn't really get the bat going a ton. Is a decent on-base guy. Has a knack to find the base, to find first base as a freshman. So because of that, since the on-base is still high, but the hitting wasn't really fully coming around, Hallock moved him down to the bottom of the order as that kind of 2nd leadoff guy to set the table for the top of the order. And he's gotten a lot more comfortable in that role.
See better pitches down toward the bottom of the order as well. I mean, pitchers definitely worried about turning it over to the top. They don't want to see the top of the order. That's been hot for the Falcons recently, and some very strong hitters up there.
Pickoff attempt over to first, almost got out of hand. Nice job by Krzyzuk of having to step over Laird to grab that. See if Laird finds one of these pitches he wants to go on. We know he can run. Third straight pickoff attempt. This is the toughest part right now if you're the batter in this situation, just having to wait it out.
Yeah.
Wait for the pitch, go through your routine once again, and get ready. As Scheiderer looks off the ball, fastball missing just a bit high, it appears.
Now you've got the green light for me. You get a really nice pitch. Might not get another one.
Oh, beautiful diving stop at first by Krzyzuk. Takes away a single from Griffin Scheiderer and puts an end to the 6th inning. Bowling Green, though, scores another. RBI single by Alex Laird brings in Anthony Mead up, and we're all tied up once again, 3 apiece as we go to the top of the 7th here at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. I'm throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream.
CJ Boudreau still on the mound for Bowling Green as Central Michigan's top of the order comes to the plate. Bryson Webb, Cole Prout, Harrison Bowman, 1, 2, 3 in the lineup. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Sun beginning to start its descent down the horizon as the lights start to take effect here at Steller Field.
Nice to see.
Have you been here for a night game yet?
I have not. No. This will be my first one.
You don't really
Certainly
get.
exciting.
You have the lights over at Missouri Field for softball.
Yeah.
Don't really get, many night games over there though.
No, unfortunately not. And partial to the good of that is it's not as cold normally as it is right now. Certainly warmer, and sun tends to be out, I guess.
Yeah,
It seems like for softball more than baseball.
Scoring the game by hand, getting a little
Yeah.
harder as it gets a little
Yeah,
cooler.
a little bit.
Boudreau looking to settle in a little faster this inning than he did last frame. Escaped a bases loaded jam by getting Drew Loykitz to pop out. His next pitch up high for a ball. Count runs even. There is a Bowling Green armor righty up in the bullpen. Boudreaux's next pitch, chopped over to short once again. Scheiderer went right under his glove. Trying to come up with it a bit too fast. As that will most likely be an error on Griffin Scheiderer.
Yeah, it didn't result in an extra base. It's good for the Falcons and attack. It's, you know, it's a routine play for these guys, but also you always want to back up those plays just in case that stuff happens and Tackett was there to shut it down. But unfortunate that a base runner on for Boudreaux, who after 4 pitches, that was actually one of his shorter at-bats that he's had.
Yeah, it really was.
Was not able to get an out of it. So now he's got to make some efficient work here of still the top of the order and still Cole Prout, who's, you mentioned it still, he's still a dangerous bat. I mean, this is a guy
in the 2-hole for a reason.
Yeah, 7 home runs, second in the lineup in home runs for Central.
That Barnes will rule just foul. Ty Roeder, the arm warming up in the bullpen for Bowling Green. We'll get into it if he comes into the game, but he's a relief pitcher that has really found its stride for the Falcons as of late. He awaits as the next arm after Boudreaux's time is up.
Yeah, he's been great, and it feels like the bullpen's rounding into shape when it comes to who gets which innings and who gets
that was
which
the biggest
lengths.
That might have been the biggest question heading into the season for this team, was you had so many arms, a lot of them on the younger side, but you really had no defined roles for anyone in the bullpen. You did not have a solidified closer, as Boudreaux will field the bunt, throw over to first in time for the first out. You weren't sure if it was going to be Roeder, if it was going to be Cade Arnn, if it was going to be Titus Lotz. It was kind of Arnn at the beginning of the season, now moving towards Lotz. You didn't have a setup man designated. You didn't have the high leverage guys or the first guys out of the bullpen designated. It was really we're going to figure it out through the non-conference and hope we have something solidified by the time MAC play comes around. And I think it took a little longer for Hallock and the Falcons to figure it out than they would have liked. But like you said, it is starting to really fully round into form now. And Ty Roeder will get the call for Bowling Green as C.J. Boudreaux's day is done after an inning and a third of work. So Roeder will be the new arm for the Falcons when we come back right here on the WBGU live stream. The new pitcher into the game for Bowling Green is Ty Roeder, junior right-hander, 6'4", 226 from Waterville, Ohio. 1-1 this year with a .443 earned run average. This will be his 12th appearance out of the bullpen. 20 1/3 innings pitched this year for Roeder. He has 22 strikeouts to 11 walks. First batter he'll face is Logan Kylan with a runner on second in the form of Bryson Webb. Roeder, we mentioned it before he came in, has really found his stride out of the bullpen for Bowling Green. Has not allowed a run over the past 2 outings against Akron and Ohio State. Going 5 2/3 innings in those outings. I shouldn't say he has not allowed an earned run. Did allow 1 run, but it was unearned. During that span, he has 8 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hit by pitches, and just 1 extra base hit across 78 pitches thrown.
And his last 3 have all been multi-inning appearances. Yeah. And in the first game of the series, that really matters for this Falcons squad and trying to maintain the arms that you have. You got 2 more games to go.
Yeah.
And you're starting pitching, you can't necessarily.
You have to remember, too, he was a part-time starter at Wright State a couple years ago. Yes. So he's a guy that maybe doesn't have the stamina now that he did a couple years ago when he was starting a few games at Wright State. Being a full-time reliever at Bowling Green for a couple years will take that stamina out a little bit, but he does have experience of having to go deep into games. So he still has a little bit of that starter mentality with him.
Yeah, it's 3 2/3 against Ohio State, the most pitches he's thrown in a game this season, just 51. It's still a solid amount of pitches. That can get you through a sizable chunk of the game.
Hallock, after the game, I asked him if that's the best that Ty Roeder has ever looked as a Falcon, and he said it's up there with his best stuff. Might have not been his absolute best stuff, but that's probably the most confident that he has seen him in a Bowling Green uniform. And it certainly showed. It'll be a walk issued after the full count. So reaching first base safely is Harrison Bowman.
Yeah, that's his first walk since March 29th at Northern Illinois. That wasn't a great outing for him. As you mentioned, the last 2, he's had 0 earned runs. And the runner on second is not going to be attached to him. It'll be attached to Bedreau. But
yep. So Kylan into the box. Single his last time up. Stole home after the throw down to second. Trying to get. The runner was unsuccessful. And ended up scoring that, at the time, game-leading run for Central Michigan. Game now, of course, tied at 3 apiece. Roeder ahead of Kylan after the first pitch. Now evened up.
Central Michigan's heated up a little bit offensively, and they've got themselves into deeper and more favorable counts, especially the last 2 innings. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, 2 runs 2 innings ago, 1 run last inning, and now really threatening in this inning, just 1 out and 2 on.
This one is lined on a rope, but fouled down the left side.
I mean, they've just looked way more confident in the box, and it's nothing against the Falcons pitchers. They haven't really changed too much. I think a lot of the end of Sova, his start, was not so much that he lost it a little bit as Central just started hitting it a little bit better. And nothing huge contact. They've just been able to squeak it through holes. And they've just done that a little bit better lately than the Falcons have, and the pitcher's still trying to work out of that.
So the 1-2 pitch from Roeder, pound to the back. Got a few Falcon fanatics to jump back. Yeah, that was a really good selection by Roeder in that count. And we'll see how he piggybacks off of it. Does he elevate? Does he go down again? Has a few options. Induces another foul.
He's like Kylan's struggling a little bit to get a barrel on one. He hit the nice one down the third baseline, but was way out ahead of it.
He's finding
and really
contact.
Didn't have a chance to get that in the field of play.
Finding contact, it just...
Not great contact.
No.
That's kind of been the story of today as well.
The timing, too. He's been either out in front or just a bit late.
Yeah.
Hasn't found that sweet spot.
Pitched away.
Double steal on, fouled off to the right side, so Webb will go back to second. Bowman back to first.
See, now what the situation is, Central Michigan's sitting here, well, Ty Roeder's sitting here thinking, oh, I got to pitch to waste. I got a 1-2 count. I can set something up here, but that's actually good for Central Michigan that was fouled off, because now Falcons have to worry about the steal that was just put in place, because you can't just waste a pitch.
See if
Gotta
they
give
go
Ludovico a chance.
the double steal again. They will not. They stay put. This one just out past the outstretched glove of Roeder, but fielded cleanly by Salvioni in the relay to Nita. Nita kept his foot on the bag. What a double play converted by Bowling Green to get out of the inning. And it's still a tie ball game heading to the 7th inning stretch here at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream.
Heart's beating faster. I'm lost in the moment. I close my eyes. I'm high on life. Throwing confetti, and it gets better and better. Living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream. We're living the dream. This is our time. We're living the dream.
Now pitching for the Chippewas, number 40.
New pitcher into the game for Central Michigan in the form of Jack Pottinger. Pottinger, a senior lefty, 6'5", 240 from High Ridge, Missouri. He's a transfer, played the past 3 seasons at Eastern Illinois, 1-0 this year with a 1440 earned run average. This will be his 9th appearance onto the bullpen. He's thrown 10 innings, struck out 10, walked 9. Opponents hitting just under 400 against him, 395. And Ben, if you would like to give us the final line for Tyson Potts and his performance, and he gave the Chippewas a lengthy one in his start.
Yeah, he tossed 93 pitches, 6 complete innings, 2 earned runs, an extra 1 unearned, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. I think he was pretty good. I think maybe he had a bit of a better start than Silva. It certainly looks that way because he went about an inning longer. But he was pretty confident through most of the game, and especially got better as the game wore on. I mean, back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings, the 4th and the 5th. Just a 4-batter inning in the 3rd. Got a couple of timely double plays and ground balls. It was very impressive. Very impressive how he pitched.
Mo Tice grounds it over to the right side. Correa puts him away for the first out of the inning. Brings up Lance Vickers, who is looking to build off his 1-hit day. Had a single back in the 2nd inning that drove in TJ Tackett.
Hitter, Lance Vickers.
Bowling Green leading Central Michigan in the hits category 6-4 today. Pottinger, last time he pitched was Tuesday in the midweek game against Michigan. Central Michigan gave Michigan a run for their money during a lot of that game. It was a close contest.
Game that was.
Yeah.
Bunch of Michigan teams in a row, too. Michigan State, then Western Michigan for 3, then Michigan.
Yeah. An inning pitched against Michigan, struck out 1, didn't allow a hit or a run, went 17 pitches.
Yeah, it's back-to-back games of 1 exact inning pitched and back-to-back games of 0 earned runs. I mean, 1 hit allowed against Western Michigan in that relief appearance.
Just 28 pitches to get through those innings as well.
And good for him, too, because the 4 previous appearances, 2 of them against Louisville, but a ton of earned runs with not a lot of outs recorded.
And that's kind of been the trend of his outings in Mid-American Conference play. In his 2 appearances against MAC opponents, he has a 1350 earned run average. Through an inning and a third. Opponents in the MAC hitting 429 against him. As set down is Vickers for the second out of the inning. We'll bring up Delodovico, looking to extend this bottom of the 7th.
Catcher, Andrew Delodovico.
Favorable matchup for Delodovico. I think he has pretty good at bats against lefties. He sees them very well, and especially the off speed. And then, you see the off speed there, but that's been what's good so far for Pottinger is that off speed. The last 2 games, that's what has been clicking for him.
Big swing and a miss by Delodovico there.
And you
Count
wonder
goes to 0-2.
You wonder too, if you're Jake Sable, head coach for Central Michigan, how much you want to push Pottinger if he really goes 1-2-3 here. Do you want
Looks
to send
off
him
a
out for another?
fastball. You're talking about Delodovico against lefties, a .524 batting average this year against left-handers, 11
There
for
you go.
21 at the plate.
I didn't even know that when I said that. You can crown me now.
Ball in the dirt. Count goes even, 2-2.
But it's hard to look a guy in the eye that just went 1-2-3 or had a very strong inning, if that's how this ends up for Pottinger, and keep him on the bench, especially first game of the 3-game series. A guy that's done well 3 games in a row.
I agree.
You don't want to leave him out there to
just misses
ruin
outside.
confidence.
That off speed, and the count goes full with 2 outs. Tie ball game, 3 apiece in the bottom of the 7th. Here's Pottiker's payoff. Misses. Just down low. And Delodovico draws a 2-out walk to give the Falcons a base runner in the 7th inning. Braden Curlis, the cleanup hitter, coming up to the plate. Curlis does not have a hit today. He's grounded out twice. He reached base safely in the first on a throwing error by the shortstop Loikis.
First walk since March 10th as well for Pottinger, who's had limited appearances, but still it's been a while for him. And a lefty, he's looking right in the face of the base runner. So not much of a risk there, and 2 outs. Now you are at the point of the game. You do have to start manufacturing something if you're both of these offenses. And tough to do with 2 outs. Limited in decisions you can make, and we've seen some bunts today.
Braden Curlis,
Other weird plays.
not as much success against lefties. 3 for 23 at the dish, a 130 batting average, as we will have a mound visit for Central Michigan, a 2-ball count.
Like a couple of righties warming up for Central in the bullpen. One righty, one lefty.
We were talking about pies earlier. Doesn't this music,
Yeah,
Peanuts music,
makes me think of toast for Thanksgiving and
a little popcorn?
yeah, some popcorn. Forget exactly.
What was it, jelly beans in there too, I think?
Jelly beans,
Pretzel
popcorn,
sticks?
and toast.
Pretzel sticks?
Yeah, I think that was
it.
The main 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Filling all the nutrition boxes right there. There's a nice piece of hitting by Braden Curlis as he slaps one into right field. Keeps the inning alive. Just his 4th hit off a left-hander this season.
Station to station with 2 outs. Now you got a runner in scoring position, and a hit can be a huge difference maker in this game. Bottom of the 7th inning, not that much time left to go.
Pitcher up in the bullpen for Central Michigan is Jared Hansen, redshirt junior righty.
You got a lefty on lefty matchup here too. You're gonna have to worry about that if you're Mita, who's 3 for 3. He's had a heck of a day.
Anthony Mita, another guy that, even though he's a lefty hitter, has had some success against left-handers this season. 281 mark, 9 for 32. Of course, expected for him to see a little more pitching against left-handers.
Yeah.
As a left-handed batter, the matchup that opposing teams want to get against him. But
And different guys' stuff plays differently as a lefty. Like some guys don't have traditionally crafty lefty stuff.
he has
Theirs is
nearly
pretty straight.
he has nearly the same arc though. Lefty righties,
Yeah.
281 against lefties, 290 against righties this year. Overall, this is an interesting one. As a team, Bowling Green is 248 against left-handers this season, 246 against right-handers. Really no difference.
Pretty spread either way.
3-0 pitch will not come yet.
You really don't want to load the bases either. I mean, that seems obvious, but you got 2 quick outs, and now you're at risk of losing the
Nope, the full count pitch. Or not the full count, apologies. The 3-0 pitch down the middle for a strike. 1 strike away from making it a full count.
I got a hitter's count. If you put a good pitch out there, chance that you get him to ground out.
Ina swings at that, flies at left field. Prout doesn't have the move, settles under it, and makes the catch to end the inning. Bowling Green strands 2. They've left 9 on the base pass today. And we head to the top of the 8th. Tie ball game between Bowling Green and Central Michigan in the series opener here at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream. The sun is fully set here in Bowling Green as we hit the top of the 8th inning at Steller Field. Series opener between Bowling Green and Central Michigan, and a pitch comm issue to begin the 8th.
Wouldn't be a game if we didn't have a pitch count issue.
It's a requirement here at Steller Field
Has to be.
that there is at least 1 pitch comm issue that requires Dominic Bricker, the student assistant, to come out of the dugout and help out the Falcons.
Not the start you want to your appearance as well.
So they'll get
Or at
that all
least the
sorted out.
inning, I should say.
Ty Roeder
Tie
still
rotor.
out
I
there.
mean, you get all nice and warm, and now you have to deal with the stupid thing on your wrist.
What are your thoughts on pitch comm?
I'm a traditionalist, man. I like the finger signs.
You like the painted nails behind the plate?
Yeah, I mean, if that's what catchers want to do, that's what we always used. I think that's classic. I think it's
The Astros
it's a
ruined that
traditional
for everyone,
aspect.
though.
No, they did. They definitely did
So blame the Houston Astros.
for everything.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe not everything, but if you do not like pitch comm and you miss old school signaling from the catcher, blame the Houston Astros.
There are a lot of changes in baseball that they've made that have been so good for the game, though.
Yes.
Pitch clock has been one of them, especially at the
I
pro
was
level.
against the pitch clock
I was
originally.
at first too, but they put it in perfect.
Yep. I think
And it has improved the watchability of the game so much.
I think the pitcher injuries at the start of it got a lot of attention. but that was just pitchers getting adjusted to it. Maybe it was just coincidence
Yeah.
as well, but that's helped, I think.
You've also seen.
I think the pickoff rule as well has helped
I
a
think
little.
so. And the bigger bags.
Yeah.
Promoted more stolen bases, which is more entertainment. To the
Agree
game.
with that. The one they need to get rid of full. Big swing and a miss there. Gives Roeder his first strikeout of his outing.
Gosh, 3 pitches, slowed him way down on the last one. Sped him up, slowed him down.
One rule I'd like to see changed. Get rid of that ghost runner.
I think every baseball fan in the world would do, but they're not going to.
We don't need the Manfred runner.
I know.
I'm glad they got rid of it in the postseason.
I agree. If postseason games come down to that,
Boy,
like
that-
postseason games in hockey coming down to,
Could you imagine a World
3v3?
Series Game 7 coming down to a ghost runner?
yeah, that's, I guess, regular season if you want to speed up games. Never really thought it was much of a problem, to be honest.
I never hated long baseball games either. I get it from the TV perspective, as this one sharply grounded to the left side. Backhand by Scheiderer. Can it bounce through? Get there on time. Yes, sir, it can. What a nice play by Griffin Scheiderer. The freshman flashes the leather.
Yeah, that was a very nice play. I think it was a 2-hop over to first base, but the turf helps in that situation as well because the ball bounces hotter off the turf than it does off the dirt, generally. And the odds that it takes a bad bounce are pretty much 0. So you can throw it right into the dirt. It
Yeah.
skips off, sometimes hotter than when it came out of the hand.
I will say, though, this turf, I heard a lot of it at the beginning, and I wasn't sure how much I was going to believe it. It does play really like grass.
Yeah.
In a normal field, it doesn't feel like over turfy, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you see an AstroTurf, you're like, you can tell that's
Yes.
turf. This feels like it plays pretty much the same as a year ago. This
Oh,
one,
geez.
big drive sent into it to right field, and that one's not coming back. Joey Milto gets the Chippewas the lead back. His 5th home run and 15th run batted in of the year. Central Michigan up 4-3 now in the top of the 8th after the moonshot into the trees.
That's the swing of the day right there. That's the best hit of the day. That's the best swing of the day. An unbelievable piece. Definitely the hardest hit ball we've seen today. Maybe one of the few that have been really elevated above 10 feet above the ground most of the time. I mean, it does have a feeling like that was bound to happen.
See how Roeder can recover after that. And for Ty Roeder, that's
March
the
25th.
Yeah, he had gone previous 3 outings without giving up a home run. That's the 3rd long ball he's given up this season.
8 1/3 innings pitched straight in relief without giving up a home run. That other home run was at home against Findlay. It's a good time for it if you're Central Michigan. I mean, you're getting into the bottom part of the game, and now relief pitching changes if you're the Falcons because you're not put in a save opportunity. You're not even put in an opportunity where you can take the lead in the bottom necessarily with just a run. You need to at least get a couple across. Changes the whole complexion of the game just with the biggest swing of the day, moment-wise, but also just physically. That was a powerful swing. That was
Yeah.
gone in a hurry.
Yeah, that one, Alex Laird turned to it and didn't really make an effort. Just kind of watched that sail over his head. So 2-2 count on Zach Knowlton. Knowlton, 2 RBI single back in the 5th. Outside of that, he's been hit by a pitch and grounded out. He's looking to reach base for the 3rd time today. Here's Roeder's pitch. Just misses off the outside corner.
It's a unique situation, too, even though there is 2 outs. There's been a run across in this inning and no threat at the base paths at all. Every other run we've seen come across, which is 6 other ones, have been on threats that are compounding throughout the entire inning.
The full count pitch gets a swing and a miss from Zach Knowlton. Ty Roeder gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning, but he does give up a home run to Joey Milto that has put Central Michigan back ahead 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th here in Bowling Green. on the WBGU live stream. Tyler Kamelitz alongside Ben Korak from the Falcon and Media Sports Network, back with you here on the WBGU live stream of BGSU baseball against Central Michigan. Series opener between these two teams. Chippewas lead at 4-3 as we go into the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher on the mound for CMU in the form of Cameron Niehaus. Freshman righty, 6'3", 185 from Cannon, Michigan. 1-0 this year, a 4-even ERA across 18 innings pitched and 9 relief appearances, 16 strikeouts to 3 walks. Opponents hit just 203 against him. And Ben, I'm sure you can tell us a little bit about Niehaus.
Yeah, Cam came into the year, started a little bit rough, but just a rookie season. He's really rounded it out. Last 3 appearances, the least close one to right now, he gave up 1 hit and recorded 1 out. That was a walk-off against Eastern Michigan, and he was not.
And as it's obligatory, we need a pitch comm issue.
Oh, of course.
Because why not?
Yep. But the 2 most recent appearances between the 2, 6 combined innings and just 1 earned run. Only a couple of hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's been very impressive. I mean, this is a kid I went to high school with. He was a sophomore when I was a senior. Both pitched on the same staff. I like to also say we were the only 2 even close to good pitchers on that staff. And Cam's
Seems a little biased.
A heck of a pitcher.
Just a little biased.
Just a little bit. I was the starter. I was the ace. I was a senior, and he was just a sophomore, so that's what tells you right there. But he's changed his arm action a little bit. He's changed some things. He's still got that look of Cam Niehaus. Remember back then, had a little bit of trouble with command. Was not the biggest control guy. That was the main issue with his pitching, and he's really remedied that this year. 16 strikeouts, 3 walks. That's a great ratio. Actually, when I was doing prep and I looked at that from Cam, all 3 walks in the same game, by the way. Every other appearance he has not had a walk, but looked at that from Cam. That's not the Cam that I pitched with back in the day, and that's good. Good for him.
So Niehaus will start things off against Vinny Salvioni, then TJ Tackett and Alex Laird, 6, 7, 8 in the order. Gets a little bit of a half swing out of Salvioni, but he held up. Niehaus has been only dominant in MAC play. 6 games, he's 1-0, a 1.98 earned run average. 12 strikeouts, no walks across 13 2/3 innings pitched against conference opponents. A 212 batting average against, and how about this? A .80 whip.
Yeah, impressive numbers, to say the least.
So count even on Salvioni. Salvioni 0 for 3 on the day. Ground out over to third, a pop out to first, and a ground out on a bunt attempt to the catcher. Behind the count now, 1-2. Salvioni will reset and look to find bat to ball and just put it in play.
Got a very firm fastball, but he's got a very nice off speed too. A nice curveball.
Goes with the off speed.
Yep.
Just misses. A little bit of a throwaway pitch, trying to extend the zone for Salvioni.
And the fastball doesn't move very much, and that makes it lethal. You put it rail high right up at the waist. And it really feels like it's coming in harder, and it gets there quicker. And
high fastball is always the hardest pitch to lay off because it comes in most high level, most enticing as a hitter.
And I mean, especially for him and a pitch that doesn't move at all, it's just coming in hard. And that's where you get the term rise ball too. The ball can't physically rise in baseball, but it just looks like it. It just holds up in the air.
Full count pitch. Swung on over to the right side. And it'll be a flip over to Niehaus. He'll finish off the play. 3-1 put out for the first out of the inning. Brings up TJ Tackett's. Tackett's a single back in the second, a strikeout in the third, and a ground out to first in the sixth.
Left fielder, TJ Tackett.
Yeah, he's had a fine day today, Tackett's has. He's got a couple of solid at-bats he's put together, a couple of 2-2 counts, some nice foul balls.
And we are talking about the lefty-righty matchups in terms of hitting last inning. Tackett's is an interesting one to look at that this season. He's a much better hitter this year against lefties as a left-handed batter. 250 against lefties, 6 for 24. 189 against righties, 10 for 53.
Unfortunately for him, he's got a righty here. That one caught a piece of his shirt, I think.
Yep, so he will get a free 90 feet down to first. Fastball ran too far inside. And a free pass in the form of a hit by a pitch issued by Niehaus. So Bowling Green with the game-tying run on first base with one out in the bottom of the eighth. Alex Laird coming off an RBI single in the sixth, steps into the box.
And Cam's not afraid to throw inside either. Niehaus, I should say. Not afraid to throw inside. You saw it there to the lefty. He does like to hit that outside edge from the righty. Whether it is a lefty or a righty, that's always kind of been his spot to live, especially with the fastball. Because he's got the velocity to burn in on lefties, and he can paint it well enough to stay away from righties.
Big high leverage situation for him in the game as Laird just slices it off foul. Eighth inning opportunity for him, trying to get a hold to his name. I know nobody really tracks holds anymore.
No.
I feel like one of the stats that should be tracked more
Possibly,
is a hold. I really only see him on ESPN nowadays. That's a valuable stat right there. If you can come into the game from the bullpen and maintain a lead for your team. Set up your closer to come in and win the game. I don't know whatever happened to the hold.
The save. That's what happened
Yeah.
to the hold. Which I think is maybe one of the most harmful stats to judging relief pitchers in baseball.
I wouldn't disagree with you.
Because, I mean, if you get the 2, 3, 4 hitters in the 8th inning, and a guy comes in there and gets 1, 2, 3, and then a guy comes out in the 9th and gets
the bottom of the order.
Gets the bottom of the order. He just has to get 3 outs.
Yeah.
Big argument against Mariano Rivera. Tell a lot of pitchers to go out there and get 3 outs. How many of them would be able to do it at a pretty decent clip?
It's also hard to argue against the guy, though, that allowed less runs in the postseason on multiple World Series winning teams than people who have walked on the moon.
True.
So.
No, nothing against him specifically. It's just an example.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You had took Justin Verlander, said you only get 3 outs a game you have to get.
And yet they're the second highest paid pitcher in Major League Baseball outside of the starter.
Yeah,
look at the contract Edwin Diaz got, contract Mason Miller received.
Yeah, and I think more teams are turning to using those guys in the high leverage situations rather than just the 9th inning.
Next pitch from Niehaus. There chops it over the left side. To 2 for 1. Back to first. Not in time and bounces out of the glove of Krzyzuk. So, fielder's choice retires Tackett's at second. 5-4 for the second out of the inning. And Laird reaches safely for the second time today. Brings up bottom of the order, Griffin Scheiderer. Scheiderer hitless. 2 ground outs to first and a hit by pitch.
The shortstop, Griffin Scheiderer.
Yeah, he's got around the ball well today. We'll see how it does with the arm angle that Niehaus brings. Might be a little bit difficult to get around baseball. And especially because Niehaus likes to live on the way you're seeing at the left side of the plate. And that's obviously inside on Scheiderer, so he's really going to have to get around on a hard pitch on the inside part of the plate. That's a tall task. He should probably look toward the middle of the field more, at least this at bat.
Scheiderer, another left-handed batter, hitting better against the lefties this year than righties. 269 against left-handed pitching, just 204 against right-handed pitching. So we'll see if he can break through a little bit with that and make some solid contact against the righty Niehaus.
That was it.
That was, I agree, the pitch right there. Fouled it straight back, just a bit behind.
That was the pitch. That was the swing. You always love to see those foul balls, almost line drives right back to the screen. That means you're on the pitch both ways. You just didn't barrel it up.
Niehaus will go over to first. Runner off, pitch in there for a strike, and Laird reaches in safely. So, for Alex Laird, you can give him his 14th stolen base of the season on 15 attempts. Came into today ranked 10th in the MAC in stolen bases.
For a guy that's only taken 34 at-bats,
pretty good.
an impressive number. Only
7 in 1
starts.
game.
This is his 11th. Yeah, that'll certainly help.
Oh, that ran inside. You could hear it up here from the press box. Hits Griffin Scheiderer, and he will hobble his way down to first for a free 90 feet. Runners on first and second for Bowling Green with 2 outs. Second hit batter of the inning. And you know, I made the reference to the moon with the Mariano Rivera stat. Artemis 2 back in safely from outer space. Little fun point.
It's amazing to me. I feel very about that. But like I walked into the living room one day at our house.
The furthest humans have ever reached away from Earth.
Yeah, I walked into the living room of our house and it was just on, and I'm like, oh, they're going to the moon again, I guess.
Laird's off and running, and he's going to take third. Alex Laird is 15th stolen base of the season. He continues to wreak havoc on the base pass for opposing teams.
That's the first and second stolen bases allowed. Cam Niehaus allowed this year. Hasn't allowed almost any.
Game-tying run 90 feet away on third for Bowling Green. That was a closer pickoff attempt over to first.
And again, you got to continue to be careful with these over to first with a runner on third. I mean, that guy's getting pretty much a secondary lead. Those extra 10, 15 feet off of the bag.
2 outs in the inning, runner on third. Bowling Green trails Central Michigan by 1. Motice the leadoff batter and gets hit. Third hit batter of the inning by Cameron Niehaus. And the bases are loaded for Lance Vickers. This is the moment right here that could decide this game, this at-bat.
This could very well. This is a key opportunity for the Falcons. And this is, I mean, when we walked in the press box today, saw Lance Vickers in the 2-hole. I mean, what was your immediate reaction, Tyler?
My immediate reaction was,
surprise.
1, no Sam Seidel in the order.
True.
And then 2, Hallock is trusting Lance Vickers.
Yeah.
That Hallock has seen what Lance Vickers had put together and is going to test him with the biggest opportunity that the junior has been presented with this season as being in that coveted 2 spot.
True.
And this is why the way these situations play out. Bases loaded, 2 outs, down by 1, bottom of the 8th, that your 2-hole hitter comes up to the plate. That's why you put, you know, in the way that lineups are constructed nowadays, usually your best hitter at the time is in that 2 spot.
And this is where you earn spots later in the season.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where you earn that designated hitter role. That's rotated with a couple of guys.
And it's moments like this when you have this opportunity if you can capitalize on it. Looks off a first pitch ball with the fastball. Location and control have abandoned Cameron Niehaus in his outing in the 8th inning. A 1-0 pitch, fouled off to the back. The crowd here at Steller Field, pins and needles for this at bat.
During this whole inning, he has controlled in the way that he's been controlled.
The 1-1 up a bit high, and we will see. It's going to be interesting to see how aggressive Lance Vickers decides to be in this at bat. Do you go green light right away, or do you sit for that perfect pitch? The 2-1 outside.
This is the green light question right here.
Yep, this is the one.
I mean, you're in a game that you have to bounce. You have a count that's probably going to
with a guy that's hit 3 batters in the inning.
Not only is this the biggest at bat of the game for the Falcons, this is the biggest pitch of the game for Central Michigan. Or I guess the biggest next 2 pitches if it comes to that.
I hate to say it, but you could say it's the biggest at bat of the season for Bowling Green up to this point, with how crucial this series is for the rest of the year.
To give him the green light.
Nope, we'll see what Niehaus goes with, what Vickers decides to do. Vickers swings and gets it to the infield. 1 scores. Here comes a second. It's a 2 RBI single for Lance Vickers. And the Falcons are ahead 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th. Vickers moved up in the order, comes through for the Falcons.
That's exactly how you do it right there. You find your pitch on a 3-1 count, and you yank it. He didn't try to elevate. He didn't try and really pound the ball. He tried to hit a line drive. The shortstop as well.
Hallock is flared up out of the Bowling Green dugout as Central Michigan will go for a pitching change. Bowling Green ahead 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs right here on the WBGU live stream. Jared Hansen, the new arm in for Central Michigan. Redshirt junior righty is 6'3", 205 from Escanaba, Michigan. 2-2 this year, a 9 even earned run average, 20 innings pitched across 11 appearances, 3 of them starts. 7 strikeouts, 7 walks. Opponents hit 63 against him. He will start off against Angelo DeVico. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. That pickoff hit Vickers.
Like he caught that right in the arm.
Yeah.
Second. That stings.
That's not a fun one. So he'll take a second to walk that off. But what did you see from Cameron Niehaus in his outing, Ben?
Yeah, I saw 3 hit by pitches. He couldn't find the zone. I mentioned, you know, having played with him, that was an issue in high school, and he had remedied that later on, and he had this season as well coming into that. I mean, that was February 7th. He was just trying to jam inside and just couldn't stay away from the brown jerseys. So.
And we were talking off the air, probably a second highest leverage situation he has faced this season as a freshman.
If not the highest leverage.
Yeah.
In the game the opponent has taken the lead in those situations. He didn't get an earned run in the other time, Eastern Michigan put into a situation with 2 outs, runners on, in a game that Central was winning. But
how about Lance Vickers, though? 3 RBIs on 2 singles. Heck of a game for the junior as Roy broke out for Bowling Green as lofted in right center field by DeVico. The center fielder, Knowlton, will settle under it and retire it for the 3rd out of the inning. But Bowling Green strikes for 2 off the bat of Vickers, and they hold a 5-4 lead as we go to the top of the 9th. The Falcons 3 outs away from a series opener victory against the Chippewas right here at Steller Field on the WBGU live stream. Bowling Green 3 outs away from a series opening victory against Central Michigan. Tyler Cavalis alongside Ben Korak for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Ben, a couple of defensive substitutions to begin this inning. Zach Corky will be in for TJ Tackett. He will replace Alex Laird in right field. Mancino will replace Laird in the batting order, and he will play left field. So outfield left to right, Mancino, Motice, Corky. Ty Roeder still out there on the mound for Bowling Green. Titus Slotts, who has really taken the recent closer role for the Falcons, is warming up in the bullpen for the Orange and Brown. Drew Loykitz at the plate. After him, we go to the top of the order with Bryson Webb and Cole Prout. Roeder got Loykitz to extend the zone. And Roeder's ahead now, 1-2.
This is what you want as a relief pitcher, too. You came into this inning complete down, and now you're given a lead.
That was a hot shot down the third baseline, but just foul.
Every shot down that third baseline has been foul. and just barely. And there was the one call. I mean, we're maybe 3 combined pitches, completely different ball game. The couple been a couple of throws have been different. 1-2 count. This is definitely favorable to Roeder, and I'm sure Hallock would love to get through this inning with just him.
Roeder has 2 strikeouts in his outing so far. Here's his pitch, just outside and down low. We mentioned it earlier on the broadcast. Ty Roeder has really found a rhythm over the past couple of outings for Bowling Green. His only mistake, a pitch that was left up in the zone, sent into the trees in right field by Joey Milto for a solo shot last inning. This one chopped up the middle. Can Scheiderer get it over in time? Can't field it cleanly.
That's a base hit.
I would assume that will be a base hit. So it will be.
Yeah, it was right up the middle. That would have been a fantastic play to even get the play close and get that over to first base.
Yeah, I mean, I took a glance over to Loikis as Scheiderer was getting to it, and I don't think Scheiderer would have been able to get it there.
A slow dribble right up the middle, like that's.
Now in the order, the third baseman, Bryson.
And that's kind of been the story of this game too. How many hits have we seen? That one home run was Peace. TJ Tackett's had a single that was hit pretty hard. Other than that, it's just been dribblers that have got through, and been quite a pleasurable game to watch that way.
Bunch shown pulled back in there for a strike. Bryson Webb, top of the order for Central Michigan. He's hitless today. He's popped out, grounded into a double play, walked, and reached base on an error. A little bit of everything except a hit. Pulls back again on the bunt. This one misses for a ball. So Central Michigan trying to play a little small ball to move the game-tying run 90 feet into scoring position. How does Roeder pitch to it? It is laid down to the right side. Roeder will get him out at first, but Webb does the job. Moves up Loikis from first to second. The game-tying run now 180 feet away at second base.
And that's a routine coaching decision.
And we will have a pitching change. So
Yeah.
Hallock will go with his closer. Titus Lotz will be in the game for Bowling Green. And when we come back, runner on second, 1 out, 5-4 game in favor of the Falcons. Right here on the WBGU live stream. Bowling Green head coach Kyle Hallock will go to Titus Lotz to get the final 2 outs of the game against Central Michigan. 5-4 Falcons lead. One out, top of the ninth. Runner on second for the Chippewas in the form of Drew Loykitz, Cole Prout at the plate. Bowling Green, 4-1 in one-score games this season, Ben.
Yeah, the last two of them, one against Akron, one against NIU, both of them. Titus Lotz closed out the game. Both of them over an inning. If he's able to close this out, it'll be less than an inning. But he's been good in those situations, back-to-back ones. And 4 in a row for the Falcons in one-score games. They've won all 4 in a row, and that only lost in the second week of the year.
1-1 count. Lotz trying to go with that breaking stuff. Can't find the zone completely with it right now. Lotz pitched one game against Central Michigan last year. Went a scoreless inning, giving up a lone hit across 11 pitches. Skied up to the left side by Prout. 3 players converging, it's going to drop. Mancino, Scheiderer, and Curlis were all there, and it fell right in between them. Straight from the night sky, and it gives runners on the corners for Central Michigan with 1 out. The game-tying run on third, the game-leading run on first. Wow.
Yeah, that was such a weird middle ball that wasn't really anybody's. So tough for the left fielder to get there, Newly Mancino.
And even tougher under the lights.
That's the first play Mancino has seen in the lights with wind that is limited now. But that's a bad break for the Falcons because now there's, you know, you're a mistake away, and even just a fly ball. Some situational hitting here from Central Michigan and Harrison Bowman.
And this will be a big test for Titus Lotz.
It will.
He's proven himself over the past 4 outings. 1-0 with a save. Has not given up a run in 5 innings pitched. Allowed just 2 hits, 10 strikeouts to 2 walks and 2 hit-by pitches. If there was ever a moment for him to really claim that closing role for Bowling Green, this is it right here. If he can find a way to maneuver his way out of this one and secure the win for Bowling Green and for Central Michigan, this is their prime position. We had it last inning with the Falcons. They needed to capitalize in the 8th. They did with Lance Vickers. This is the situation for the Chippewas now. They need to capitalize on this one. This is their opportunity.
It's a tough situation on the pitcher, too, and Lotz specifically because you have to limit the damage that they can do, and the damage can be an out. You can get a ground ball to the right side of the infield to just to second base. It gets the run in. Quite possibly, if they don't turn the double play, a fly ball, if it's shallow deep, gets the run in.
Harrison Bowman and up to the plate. Looks at a first pitch strike.
The X factor for this at bat too will be that off speed of Lotz. It's so sharp and so late in the way it breaks. It's so tough to get below the baseball and elevate, try and get a fly ball. It's so tough to direct it to a certain part of the field. It's just the nature of that sharp off speed he has.
And that was a beautiful one right there. That's the thing with Lotz. His stuff, I will say it's as good as anyone else really in the Mid-American Conference. It's whether he can have his control down. That's been the challenge during his collegiate career, and he started to really get that under wraps during the second half of this season. Runner off from first, big swing and a miss on the curveball from Titus Lotz. He strikes out Bowman for the second out of the 9th. 1 out to go for Bowling Green. Chippewas with 2 in scoring position. And Logan Kylan stepping up to the plate. 1 for 4 on the day.
In the game, in and at bat right here. A single can knock in 2. And now the situational hitting that you had is gone. Central Michigan needs a hit. Lotz has got that good stuff.
Lotz will start the at-bat from behind.
It's just such a sharp break. It's so tough to get a read on it. And this spins so quick.
Finds the zone with that one. Count evens up. Drew Loykitz on third. Cole Prout on second. Lots his pitch to Kylan, up high, 2-1.
I mean, that off-speed is his number one option.
Yes.
That's the pitch. Everything else revolves around that. It's like a Burt Blyleven. The curveball is that number one pitch for him. Everything else is secondary.
Big swing and a miss on that curveball. One strike away for Bowling Green.
Now Kyle's thinking, sure, we can get it back, right? He hasn't seen one yet. Now Lots got
He's got to sit fastball and adjust to off speed. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts by Titus Lots. The Falcons win their 6th in a row, their 7th straight over Central Michigan, and they stay undefeated in the month of April. A series opening win for Bowling Green over Central Michigan in 5-4 fashion.
That's such a huge series win. 3rd one in a row for the Falcons. Northern Illinois took the series opener. Akron took the series opener, now at home again. Central Michigan took the series opener. Lots had a great game. He closed it out for you. Carson Sova had his best start of the year. Lance Vickers has come the hero for the Falcons now. Can't forget about what he did to be able to put the Falcons on top. His single to bring 2 runs in. Those 3 players in combination, just the pitching staff as a whole for the Falcons pitched great today.
So, a 5-4 win for Bowling Green in the series opener over Central Michigan. I want to thank everyone involved. You've been, of course, and the entire WBGU production team. 5-4, Bowling Green winners over Central Michigan. You've been listening to BGSU Baseball and watching on WBGU Livestream.